What is up, Jared Welch, Aaron Halterman? We're here live for you for Kentucky Derby 152. We are like an hour out of the Derby here, and so we have the lead up as we all do, is sitting here waiting for the post time, and it's been a day, Halterman.
It's been a day. It's been some good, some bad, right? Very good win in the last race for Rhetorical. That was good. Just a shocking. Not so much even the T.O. Elvis won the race, but just how he won race 10. That was pretty incredible. Crude Velocity, a very impressive win in the Pat Day. So we've seen some really good performances. You hope the best is yet to come, though, right? You hope it's coming up here real quick.
It needs to be. It needs to be. It's been one. It's been. Yesterday was very, very good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Positive day, ROI. Hit the Oaks winner. Have a live. You and I both have live doubles into today. Luckily, you played always a runner as well in that. So we're good on that. For me personally, today I did have the 8-1 winner earlier in the card.
Mm-hmm.
Had stark contrast. Like who knows what? It looked good odds at first, and then it kind of got bet down. But yeah, it's been one of those days with some of the stronger opinions I've had. Knightsbridge for one, where you're just like, but really it comes down to the big race. And anybody that's struggling with that, and I'm saying this as like me working through it, it's like, yeah, that sucks. Knightsbridge certainly didn't run great, but for T.O. Elvis to win by, I don't know what he ended up winning by 5-6 lengths and pulling away. Like, I'm just never like Knightsbridge losing, and then also Imagination getting buried as well by that horse. It's just it's just something you're never going to get to, and so it's like, well, you kind of move on from that race.
I'll say you either get to him or you don't, right? I mean, I think when you're going to go with T.O. Elvis, you're gonna go all in with a horse like that, or you're going to just kind of fade him. And the choice was to go all in. It was really, really impressive. You're right. Like I had a big opinion yesterday on Gazora. She didn't run very well, and Knightsbridge didn't run very well either. And so now you're kind of in chase mode. But you're right. If you hit the Derby, all's going to be pretty good. And if not, well, it's not a total disaster, but still a couple of those big opinions didn't come in. But listen, this race, like you said, we're live in the Oaks Derby double. That's good. You're getting odds on whoever. And look, you know what? Tommy Boomer just said it. I'll put it up on the screen for you now. Denon Bourbon, like, how do you think of him? Because T.O. Elvis, I mean, yes, he was morning line 30-1, which was not a good morning line, but he was around 12-1 until the CAWs hit him and went to 5-1. But the way he won that race, is there any carryover to Denon Bourbon?
I don't know. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt, right?
No,
I mean, that was insane. I mean,
he was crazy.
And then so you hear, of course, after the fact, you hear some like, oh, I loved him there. That last race, he was awesome, and they know how to get a horse ready for the big race overseas.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's easy to get there with that. I still got to go with history as far as a Derby goes. I mean, listen. Right. 20 horse field versus whatever was in that race, it's just different, right?
Yeah,
it just is. And that's the equalizer when it comes to, like for instance, like you watch yesterday's Oaks and you say, well, shit, man, like if he did it, you kind of want to say, well, Chad Brown can do it. Like he could do the double here. But then you're like, well, one big difference is that it's not 20 horses in the field, and there's just all those different aspects that go to like a lighter race horse into a race like that.
Well, it's like when you watch the first race of today and Power Shift wins for Rapoli and Pletcher and go, well, if he's running well, look out for Renegade, and they are different horses at different times. But I do think, people do kind of gravitate towards that point, and to have Japan on the board, and not only have them on the board, but they kind of like T.O. Elvis kind of destroyed. I mean, that's some of our best horses.
That's some of our best 1 mile horses.
In
the country.
Yeah,
I mean that mile or less distance. Like Knightsbridge was like, oh well. I mean, not a couple weeks ago, it was like, well, I mean, what's journalism going to do? Because he goes shorter, he can't handle Knightsbridge. Well, I mean, and maybe that's true. I don't know, but like he didn't run well today. But yeah, just he just dominated that field. It was really
super impressive.
All right, so we are an hour away, 55 minutes technically. So I'm going to run through the odds for the first time. And then, again, we have a lot of time to fill. So if you have questions about horses, ask them in the chat. We will get to them. We will not be showing the race, just to go ahead and put that one out there because we cannot. I mean, we could, but we would get banned.
Yeah.
And this is an actual real account, not like just some idiot that's streaming. So we cannot show the race, but we'll be talking about the race. We'll be live with you during the race. We'll be right here watching it with you.
Yes.
And we'll be live after the race. So we'll talk about, everything and digest the good and the bad. So current favorite right now, it changed. Literally, it's now the Commandment. It wasn't Renegade a second ago. I mean, it's going to go either way from between Commandment, Renegade, and Further Ado, it feels like. Or I guess they're outside shot, So Happy. But Renegade's at 6-1, Albus 45, Intrepid at 49, Litmus Test 26, Commandment is 5, Dana Bourbon 14. So Happy, co-favorite, by the way, at 5-1. So Wonder Dean 25-1, 26-1 on Incredible, 6-1 on Chief Walby, 6-1. Sure. Chief Walby is making his case for maybe possible favorite.
Yeah, sure.
Patente down to a little bit to 18-1. He was 19. He's kind of working his way down a tad. 9-1 on Emerging Market, 49-1 on Pavlovian, 36 on 6-Speed, 6 on Further Ado, Golden Tempo at 25, 23 on Great White, and then you got 75 and 75 on Ocelli and Robusta. So you and I talked about that earlier. It's like it seems like the Rich Strike effect is kind of going away now that because you do have some big price horses that for a while no one would let a horse go off below or higher than 30-1 just because like I don't want to get burned like a Rich Strike situation. But it seems like these horses there's several in here actually, they're gonna slide to that high amount. But thoughts on the odds, kind of just back and forth here.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You've got the 3 horses there, Renegade, Commandment, and So Happy. I'm looking at the actual money that's coming in. It looks like almost $6 million on Commandment, up to $6 million now on that click. And then So Happy would be your second choice with 5.8, and then Renegade with 5.7. So it's very up and in the air. As you say, we got 53 minutes to post. It's very up in the air who the actual favorite will be. There's $48 million in the pool, but as you know, big wagers come in on the Derby all the time, and one big wager on Renegade or So Happy, and they will actually go to favoritism in the money. I don't remember a Derby that we've covered that it's been that close between 3 different horses. I remember 2 different horses being pretty close in money, but that's for 3 horses to be within about 200,000 of each other. That's pretty wild, and it tells you and it kind of alludes to what we have said all really year, but this week for sure. This is a completely wide open field this year. I mean, this is just it is so wide open, and I think the betting is showing you. And even like a Further Ado, he's sitting there at like 5.3 million. So he's not that far off that favoritism either. So it's pretty wild. You look at these odds and look at the money coming in.
Yeah, I wanted to address this because I figured this would be a question or a thought because of, okay, here's a Japanese horse coming over. It has not ran over here before. It's been running all in Japan up until now. Now that was the horse's fifth straight win. The horse has figured something out for sure after kind of taking a minute to get going. But yeah, this horse is very, very good. So yeah, you do have that first time start and very, not similar and not similar at the same time with Dana Bourbon making his first start out of Japan here in the Kentucky Derby. So
yeah, it really is. And I said, that's a question we've seen it in the chat, and I've probably been like a text message from a few people being like, man, what about this Dana Bourbon horse? And again, it's not T.O. Elvis running the race, right? There are different horses, but it certainly was like, well, that horse could handle it, so maybe he can too. So we know one guy who would love to see Dana Bourbon win, and that's John White. So we'll see if he can get it done, man. He becomes that much more exciting with what happened for sure.
So earlier this morning, the Puma did scratch from the race. So that's that was a big horse that a lot of people like, myself and you included. Talk about a little bit without him being in the race, Renegade for me kind of popped up, and I had him right at the cusp of my top 4 with him being out, which the Puma was in my top 4. Renegade kind of jumped in there, and I was kind of glad he did because he's been, as we've gotten later in the week, it's gone from I love him to, oh shit, he drew the rail, toss him, to be careful tossing him because this horse still has a ton of talent. So, I mean, are you glad to see kind of Renegade show back up in yours as well?
Yeah, I ended up putting him in the top 4 and never thought I would, but yes. I like I said, I put a question up or a posed question to you and to Samich on Thursday on Magic Mike and then on Blinkers Off. That our buddy Pedlo asked us, it's like, hey, if Sierra Leone can win from the 2, why can't Renegade win from the 1? And I thought all of our answers were, well, maybe Renegade's just not as good as Sierra Leone, right? But the more I thought about it, I thought, He could, right? And so when the Puma scratched today, I was like, wow, we went full circle here. I had him ranked number 1, then I didn't have him on anything, and now I've got him in the top 2 spots of a try. We'll see. 19 horses instead of 20. I know it's just 1 horse difference, so that's not make a huge difference, but there's a lot of speed. And the thing is, it seems like a lot of good closers are the ones that scratch it. And it's like, well, who's left that's really a good closer? Well, Renegade, right? So he's back on the ticket for me.
Yeah, I mean, if he can, he's one of those where if he can somehow just slip out of there and not get too much issues and then all of a sudden have a run, like at the very least, you're going to be glad that you had him, because I think, he certainly doesn't have the style that is as detrimental to the 1. I mean, the 1 is still deadly, but it's not as bad as the way where he wants to kind of get in a position. So if he can get in the spot, I think the 1 position becomes a little dampered by. But again, you never know. That's the problem with the 1. It's just too many question marks with horses to your outside of what's gonna. You're out of control with what's gonna happen.
I'll say this. I would rather, if he is loose, down the stretch and he's making his move, I'm glad that I can root for him versus root against him, because I do see a world where he does kind of get that, oh shit, this looks like a really nice trip, and oh God, please don't get up. You know what I mean? Like, I can see that. So now that we got him on a ticket, it's like, well, and again, he's our local horse, Oaklawn horse, and Springfield, Missouri owners, at least part of the owners there with Mike Rapoli. So I didn't really want to root against him to begin with, but logic kind of told me, I'm not sure I want him. But, I'm kind of glad we do get to root for him if he gets free. And if he doesn't, we kind of knew going in, that's the big risk, right? So, you don't get upset really either way. A quick question was, hey, what's the double to rhetorical to Further Ado? Further Ado is paying for this is a $1 payout for the double, paying $15.25 with rhetorical in the last race. Here's an interesting note. That's the lowest price. So Further Ado is the favorite in the daily doubles. Now, he is also the favorite in the pick 3 pool as well.
He was also the favorite in the Oaks Derby double, which is very interesting because he's up until now, he is not he's close, but he's never sniffed. I've not seen him as a favorite yet, and whereas some Commandment has had it for a second, even So Happy's had it for a second, Renegade's had it, but I haven't seen Further Ado. Maybe it shifts over to where it goes off it. Well, I don't think you're getting lower than 5-1 anyways, but
it's very interesting. He is the favorite in every multi-race pool that I have on my screen, which is doubles, pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s, and the 20 cent pick 6. Further Ado is the favorite in all of those pools. And honestly, like in the pick 5 pool, he's a pretty significant favorite, like by $700. So that is fascinating. The next favorite in the daily double pool is Renegade at $18.99, and then Commandment is too many horses, is $19.32. So by the daily double pools, Further Ado, Renegade, and Commandment are the 3 favorites. And So Happy, who is close to favoritism now, just about $100,000 away in the win pool, is paying $38.52 to the double, and that is like 5th or 6th choice. Chief Wallaby's shorter than him when it comes to the daily double. So it's kind of everywhere. The win pool doesn't reflect what all these multi-race pools reflect. So that's a very interesting thing to look at. And look, we got a lot of money in the pool. There's still a lot of money to come, but we're getting close to race time now. I say this, I don't think the odds will move much, but we've seen major odd moves today on a day we usually don't see. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that is going to be very interesting because we saw earlier, not to bring it up, but I think we need to, is earlier in that with T.O. Elvis, he was morning line 30-1. He got in the gate at 12-1, and he ended at 5-1. Yeah. And we are in the game every single day, betting every day, or it's part of our lives. And so you're used to seeing odds fluctuate. But what shocked both of us, obviously, is you're talking 2 races prior to the Kentucky Derby, the eyeballs, the money, all the everything's high, and to have that kind of price change that quickly is scary. And I mean, it's the Kentucky Derby. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars bet on this race.
Yeah.
It will be interesting, though, if any of these horses do go off at They can further do say, obviously he's 6-1. You're getting 6-1. Next thing you know, he's 4-1 when they break the gate.
Yeah, it will be fascinating. My answer, I think, is there's too much money in the pools for it to happen in the Kentucky Derby. However, we've never seen radical odds drop like this year, right? We've seen minor odds drops, but we've had some radical odds movement. Not only that, and that is the most egregious one. 12-5 out of the gate is insane. We saw stark contrast load at 9-5 come out at 6-5, right? Yeah. We saw rhetorical load at 5-2 come out at 9-5. Again, those are not as aggressive, but that's to drop a horse from 5-2 to 9-5 and from 9-5 to 6-5. That's a significant amount of money. So never say never, right? But I don't think it's going to happen in the Derby, but it could. So we'll keep an eye on that. And that'll be listen. If there's a major odds plunge as they leave the gate or after they leave the gate in the Kentucky Derby, that is going to be a huge topic. Hopefully we don't have to talk about it, but we might.
That is going to be, it would be the topic if that happens. Because, it's such a public event where it's just that even the races prior, people are watching and maybe confused. And a race like the Derby, if the horse is 5-1 and or even if a horse is like 18-1 and goes off at 14-1 or whatever, like any of those kind of fluctuations is not something we've ever seen in the Derby. Not like as far as an immediate quick change as soon as they break. So that would be certainly a talking point because of how much money is into the gate. So a couple of horses that, what do you think is going like the factor here as far as Commandment? And really, what's interesting is So Happy. How do you explain? Because this is a horse that went from, I don't think he can get 2 turns. Essentially, like that's putting it a little bit more dramatic, but can't get 2 turns to now he's biting for favoritism of the Kentucky Derby. Is it the story? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. By the way, this is a good comment. Hopefully there is a big drop, so then something might change. I do agree with that, Jason. I think it's a good comment. All right, let's go back to what you said though. It is. I think it's twofold, right? The story's great. Everybody knows I'm talking about general public now. They know who Mike Smith is. And NBC's aired the story about Mark Glatt and what's going on there. But also, he looks really good on Thorographs, right? And that takes money. He's got the he's got the 3rd highest buyer in the race. People bet that as well. So I think it's a perfect storm. And then is the name. Like we see it every year, and you might be watching and laughing and going, well, come on, the name. It's like when My Boy Jack went off as a second choice. And you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like maybe So Happy is the name horse this year, especially with the Puma out. I thought the Puma would be the name horse, but he's not. So because he's not here. So
well, it's almost like the perfect storm.
Yeah,
he's got the perfect
everything.
Name. He's got the story. He came out. He surprised a little bit in that last race and looked really good. Got a big number, so he kind of supports the more numbers driven people. So it's kind of that perfect storm. I was So Happy, but 15-1 morning line, which I didn't think was totally unreasonable either.
So this is a good question. Do you think he is the wise guy horse? Who's betting him?
I would more put the wise guy horse to Chief Wallaby.
I think you're right. I think wise guy money's coming in on Chief Wallaby. And you said this morning to me, you're like, you know what? I'm going to take a stand on him because everybody and their brother's talking about Chief Wallaby. And I like him too. You said it. I like him too. But it's becoming too low of a price on this horse. Now you can say the same about So Happy, but I'm with you. I think more of the sharp money or money that's coming from people that are day-to-day gamblers. I think it's on Chief Wallaby. You mentioned the Bear from college football was all over him, saying he could win Triple Crown if he wins today.
I basically said,
which is a crazy thing because he's Bill Mott, right?
He's not going to try it, right?
But anyway, yeah.
But he's like, if there's a horse, and I don't want to I like him, but it's like, but the point is if there's a horse that's going to win the Triple Crown, it's him, and it's like that's just insanity talk. I mean, for a horse that hasn't won a stakes race, and I just think the fact that he's buying favoritism is wild. So he is just unlike any horse that I can remember recently that's just gotten so much love. And I think, honestly, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the same connections, for the most part, won last year, right? Yeah. And I think they, Bill Mott he's gonna do it again. Listen, I like him. I like him a lot. If he wins, we'll have some money on him on the doubles and stuff. But I just think the price is 15-1, 12-1. But 6-1, it just seems like having to pay the same price you're getting essentially close to Further Ado or even a Commandment. It's just a Renegade. Like that just seems a little insane to me.
Yeah, he's 6-1 now, and so that's probably going to hold. I agree. Now, again, I think people really love a horse that has that projected improvement, and I think anybody that watches racing day to day can kind of see that he does have that look of a horse that really could take off today, right? But again, he's very lightly raced, and who knows, today's going to be the day. I think there's a big race with his name on it somewhere. So, I think he's more of your wise guy type. Again, I think So Happy's a little bit of both, and like I said, it's a perfect storm of what's going on there,
dude. So people don't realize, we're from the Springfield, Missouri area, which is where Renegade's owner is from. They told the story earlier. Essentially, they sold Renegade. Had this is Rob and Loina Lowe who have a lot of horses with Pletcher. They're from Springfield. They own Prime Trucking. Long story short, they sold it, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we had seller's remorse." So then they asked Rapoli, "Hey, can we get in on that?" So they split the horse back. So that's why they're co-owners. But point is, Renegade. I know so many people that either know him directly or we have a lot of people that work for Prime.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people that are friends that are at the Derby with Prime because they were. Anyways, I'm glad I have them mixed in a little bit, but even if I lose, I'm gonna be happy for if he were to be the horse that beat me.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, that's why I was when the Puma scratched this morning. And again, like you, I didn't have Renegade anywhere where it was really gonna. If he wins, it's not gonna help much, right? And then when the Puma scratch, I almost thought something's telling you just put Renegade in those spots. And so we'll see if that works out. Maybe that was somebody was telling me something wrong, but I thought, it's just kind of a sign because he did every day kind of grew on me a little bit. And you're right. Regardless if we have money on him or not, that's the horse that's for us. That's our sentimental horse. Like many people's sentimental horse is So Happy. Renegade is kind of our So Happy of this year's Derby. There's always one.
What about I posted this out on Twitter last night, and it went crazy. As far as what if Chad Brown pulls off the Oaks Derby double with two horses that have a combined 4 starts, Always a Runner, and of course Emerging Market this year. They both ran twice. If he were to pull off that, it might be one of the greatest training jobs ever. It's just insane to think. It's one thing to do it in the Oaks. Do it in the Derby the same year you did it in the Oaks, it would be remarkable.
Well, and I really thought you can think personally whatever you want about Chad, and you're probably right. If you okay, I'm not gonna say, oh, this is a great guy, but I do think he is a incredible horseman and an incredible trainer. But I think he's a horseman first, and why I mean that, or why I say that, is if you watch his interviews this year, I thought he did a really good job talking about Always a Runner and talking about Emerging Market and explaining just what happened and what he's like. Look, we never wanted these horses to start so late. Always a Runner got sick to the point where she almost passed away, and we just had to baby her for months. Both these horses he wanted to run in the summer last year, and Emerging Market was so close. So it's like, okay, we're ready to enter, and then the race didn't fill. Yeah. And then he got sick before they had the next race, right? And so it is great that he got rewarded for Always a Runner, and if he gets rewarded for Emerging Market, even better. And I agree. If Chad Brown comes here and gets the Oaks Derby double with the horses like this, that's like GOAT material, right? Yeah. That's just wow, that's incredible. And by the way, this is a guy that not you and I, but a lot of people think can only train turf horses. Yeah, just want to point that out. And one of them's Mike Somich. Just want to throw that out. It's that. You still are on this, Somich? How could you be saying it? Anyway, go ahead.
I kind of hope he does win just so I can just barrage Mike. I'm going to have him on Bleakers Off next week just so I can be you told me not to bet this horse. Yeah. Quick odds update. They're still really back and forth. 6-1 on Renegade. Albus is, we'll go past the big ones. 6-1 on Renegade, 5-1 on Commandment, 5-1 on So Happy. So it's really going back and forth between Commandment and So Happy and Renegade. 7-1 on Chief Wallaby. So God, he's drifting down. Potente at 18-1, 9-1 on Emerging Market, 6-1. So I haven't seen Further Ado change at all. He's been steady at 6-1 all day. Those are the big horses. Anybody has any questions on other horses? I think it's interesting is like out of a litmus test is 26-1, which I feel like he should be double that.
I think it should be 100 to 26-1. Yeah.
But Bob Baffert has had some big winners. By the way, Crude Velocity is going to be looking at anybody that wins this race. Likely, he didn't confirm that, but it's got to think he's going to go to the Preakness after that huge Pat Day win.
He has to go Preakness or Belmont, I would think, out of it. He might wait for Belmont. I don't know. Man, yeah, I don't want to, maybe we can talk about him after. I don't want to like pause the Derby talk, but that was an electric performance because I thought Englishman ran pretty well.
Yeah.
And just got dusted, because Englishman still got second in the race. He ran fine, but geez, that Crude Velocity was, man, he was really, really good. And by the way, he's the only, man, I'm going to talk Potente into the winner's circle right now. Crude Velocity is the only Baffert runner this whole weekend that has kind of picked up his feet.
Yeah, I know.
Which may even lead more to he might just be really, really special.
Well, and I tell you what, I said I thought he'd be dangerous, but I had Englishman. But my kind of theory or my thought was, well, one, flow was on him, and two, I thought, we haven't really seen that he's proven to do this distance, so maybe he can't quite get the distance. Shit, he looked like he was getting better as they got longer. So
he won like a horse that might be better going, like you said, going a mile and eighth where he doesn't have to press. So, because he was pretty relaxed, but he was pressing the pace because they didn't want to get too far away from Englishman. What if he can relax a little bit, which I think he can. Like, he wasn't headstrong really. So
it's a very interesting, situation too. People don't really probably realize like the, further ado, Potente and Crude Velocity were both entered in the same maiden special weight back in February. And Crude Velocity scratched for whatever reason, and then Potente won, and then of course his trajectory got himself to the Derby, whereas Crude was like the Pat Day basically, and so if he doesn't scratch for whatever reason and then he ends up winning, it could have been Crude in the Derby versus, so that's the whole thing. Like I think he's very, very capable of winning one of these Triple Crown races after that performance. But let's get back to the Derby and who he might be facing if he runs in the Preakness. Let's talk a little bit about Further Ado, a horse that, I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know. I don't say he's getting disrespected, but it just feels like, what's the question marks with this horse? Because on paper, he's the best horse in the race.
I probably said a dozen times on the various things we did this week that I thought Further Ado would be the favorite. And because of what you just said, on paper, he looks like, hey, just try to run back to that bluegrass race last time out. And if you do, isn't he going to win? Yeah. Right. So, and I think, hey, he is favored in the pools where the actual like hardcore bettors are betting him into. So that kind of tells you that right there. But I don't really know why not taking a lot of win money. It's kind of interesting to me. Maybe it's the post, but I don't think the post is a problem at all. I'll be happy if he wins. I know that we both will. You're top pick for sure, and
I'd love it.
And I've got him in the Oaks Derby double, and that'd be great. So I couldn't find it. Looking like I think the biggest thing with Further Ado, everybody was like, well, he's going to bounce. I mean, you don't know that. He might not. Maybe what he did is him last time out, right? Maybe he was building up and that's him and he can pair that up. I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. Maybe, and everybody's saying, well, it's not at Keeneland. Well, we don't know. He did win a stakes at Churchill Downs. It wasn't that impressive, but still, he is getting disrespected. I thought he'd be the favorite. He's not. So
31 minutes to post is where we're sitting here, guys. So we're still about half an hour left until post time. These odds are, still fluctuating quite a bit as far as favoritism goes, although it kind of seems like we're locked into those top main contenders. So who's the horse that is it that's like double digits that you're the most concerned about? Is it Dan Bourbon? at 14-1?
Yeah, I would say so. I don't have him on top in anything, and I'm not alive in the pick five because of Knightsbridge. And so, I think I would be pretty worried about him. I think he's the obvious one after what happened earlier. And let's see if there's anything else. Potente, but you've kind of got him covered. So if he wins, that's okay.
Yeah, let me.
So I would say Dan Bourbon.
Let me because Potente is a horse that I like. I obviously am biased because I've liked him, but then I was totally against him. Didn't think he was quite fast enough to compete in this race. And the more I dove into, him and the replays and the analysts, hearing different people talk and see how he was on the track, the numbers, everything like that, he's really, really growing on me. Now Bob Baffert typically doesn't. He won with Medina Spirit at 12-1. Although he did win, right? If you had a ticket on him, you cashed. He had for the most part, all of his winners have been obviously close to favorites. But with Potente, I feel like with that last trip or that last race is a little deceiving. And my theory, now again, it's a theory. When you have a horse that's whatever he is, 18-1, you are working on theories. Is that he wasn't supposed to be on the lead. It was never supposed to be the lead. Cherokee Nation was supposed to get to the lead. Cherokee Nation didn't break like he typically does.
Right.
And Potente ended up on the lead. He sat there set the fractions. So Happy got the spot that I kind of thought Potente would be in. And my thought is if Potente doesn't end up on the lead and he is tracking, that his numbers would be right in the ballpark of where So Happy is coming into this race. So you're talking from 18-1 to say, imagine if he wins that race, right? If he gets the trip that you thought he'd get and he wins, you're like, he's 5-1. He's right there in the mix with all these other ones with Bob Baffert. And to me, it's like, I'm willing to see if my theory is correct at 18-1.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. And I actually agree with that. And I told you on Thursday, I was like, the more I looked at it, I was like, I like him a little bit. I think here's my thing, but you're getting 18-1, right? So let's start with that. But I still feel like he might just be a tad below. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's very possible.
Yeah, but like I said, you're not betting him at 5.
But here's the difference: is Chief Wallaby you're getting 6-1, 7-1.
Yep.
And you're getting 18-1 on him. And you might, and it's still fair to say Chief Wallaby just may not. I don't know that he's I still think he's very capable, but he might still be like not quite ready for the big race, And so you're not you have to pay basically to see if Chief Wallaby is what you think he is. Versus with Potente, you can say, well, like he's 18-1. Yeah. So there's I can see. I thought that workout on the track. While it was fast, I thought it showed like this horse, like he's got him geared up.
Yeah, I think he's getting ready to run his best race. Yeah. It seemed it. Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is another thing. Not that it's the end all be all, but you've heard multiple trainers on that backside rave about Potente.
Doug O'Neill raved about him. Like I say, Kenny McPeak. I did not see that, but I'll take your
Kenny
word
has him
for
in
it.
the top 3. I saw.
Okay. Mike Beer from the DRF likes him. So it's not. It's more than just you. That's for damn sure. Yeah. And again, you're getting. I think the comparison between the two horses you just made is fair enough when it comes to Chief Wallaby and Potente. Now, I do view Chief Wallaby as a little more on the high end of the talent than Potente. However, not 7-1 versus 17-1, not that kind of difference. And so I'm with you on that one.
So 17-1 is what he's at now.
Did I say that? Yeah. Quickly. So Happy is the favorite by $30,000 right now. So Happy, real quick, has So Happy has 7.1 million. Commandment has almost 7.1 million. Renegade 6.9 million. So So Happy's a favorite right now.
Almost 60 million, 60 million in the win pool.
26 minutes to post of the Kentucky Derby. So Happy, your favorite, off a 15-1 morning line. So that's,
and I'm not even going to sit here, but I'm not I'm not, while it may have been a little too high, obviously looking back at the time, I didn't look at it like that's a terrible.
No, there's no way you can make it the favorite. Yeah.
To me, making him the favorite is kind of insane.
No, you couldn't have made him the favorite. You maybe could have made him 8 or 10, not 15. But again, I'm not here to beat up the morning line maker, but that will be an embarrassing thing for that morning line maker if the favorite of the Derby was 15-1 on his line.
And that's another point is to the Potente. It's like, well, you're getting if your argument, my argument is say, hey, if the trips are changed, he's right there in the mix with So Happy, and So Happy's 5-1, and you're getting 17-1 on Potente.
Right.
So again, another example of it's possible that the trip, and well, I don't think it's possible. It's 1,000% for real, in my opinion, that Potente doesn't win on the lead.
Right.
Cherokee Nation was supposed to be on the lead. That was never the
Yes.
plan. And Bob Baffert said even on the backside, like he wasn't supposed to be on the lead. He's not going to be on the lead here. I think his tactical ability is going to put him into the race, but I hope he's sitting off of the pace. All right, let's talk about a few other horses.
Well, do you want to bring in our guest?
He's here?
He's here.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, hey, listen, without further ado.
So can I turn this volume on so we can hear him?
Oh, yeah, you better do that.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's bring up Lincoln, and he's
looking
way
great.
better
Oh,
dressed
my
than
God.
we are. That's for sure.
I'm glad he's here because I gotta get a refill. So
I was going to too. So you go first.
Okay.
We can't have it. What's up, buddy? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Where you been?
A little suited and booted here. Yeah, I didn't even bother changing. Listen, I can handle this myself. Y'all want to go get refills together? I'll take over. No. Very happy to be back with you guys. I was so excited you were doing this live show because I got off the desk at FanDuel. I got an empty house. I got a full bottle of Kentucky Derby painted Woodford Reserve. So I just needed someone to actually watch the race with, and happy to do it with the guys that got me into this fucking sport in the first place.
Yeah.
Sorry, Magic.
You're welcome. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of this goes. Yeah. Oh my, OMG, it's Magic. I know, right? That's how I felt.
Oh, it's magic.
Well, no, when he asked me on, I was like,
know.
well, yeah, you can be on, but I didn't know you would want to.
Well, listen, there's a high bar. Let me talk to you both of you. There's a high bar to fill here because last year you got to progressively watch me solo get drunk while I was doing this show by myself. So you guys need to fill in for me what I did last year.
Okay, fine. You can leave if you want. I don't want you to.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got his horse, his Kentucky Derby whiskey as well.
Yeah. I went Bacardi today. It's nice. It's kind of a throwback. I've been doing a lot of Woodford, but I went Bacardi today.
All right. So we've been rambling on and obviously been rambling on for what feels like forever at this point. But Magic, you obviously have your own insights. Where are you how are you getting, around this as far as the favoritism, who's going to be the favorite, and who do you kind of lean towards as we get, what are we, 25 minutes to post?
Listen, first off, I was shocked that probably like you guys were too, that So Happy not only opens as like a short favorite, but it continues to be the favorite. Is this like the My Boy Jack effect? Like, I know there's the story about Mark Glatt's wife, but I just can't imagine there's that many people betting the horse like that. I think it's people like my brother-in-law and her sister were here for the last week. And when I showed them this, I said, here's the silks and the names, pick what horse that you get a good vibe from. They both went, oh, So Happy. I like that name. Like, there's got to be a bunch of people just doing that shit today, right?
It feels it, right? I mean, I don't know. We were talking earlier, he did have a pretty good, a pattern on the thoroughgraphs. The 100 buyer. I mean, so there might be some horse players that are playing him, but because I don't think public money would be enough to put him to favoritism. So I think it's kind of a perfect storm. I certainly would not have guessed it though. And, because like I said, most of these, general public, it's a $2 wager, a $5 wager. So there's some serious horse money on this as well, right? It has to be.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's what we said earlier. It's like it almost feels a little bit like the perfect storm. You got the story, you got the name, you got a horse that's coming in off of a big win, and then of course the numbers are kind of backing up that win. It kind of feels like it's going to be like we could be like, of course, it told us like the odds told us the horse he was the favorite. He should have won. He's the best. But the other part of you is like, really, like I can't. To me, it's a little bit like taking. One of the taking a horse at a short price like Chief Wallaby, where you're like, at least, I don't know. I feel like this is a prove it race and you have to pay for it with So Happy. Now, I don't know. Like if you love them, then, then bet. I mean, all these horses are going to be 5-1 or higher, but I don't know. I'm shocked, to be honest, that he's the favorite right now.
Me too. Yeah.
I never saw. I never. If you would have said who are like the 4 horses that you think could be the favorite at post time, it would have been Renegade, it'd been Commandment, it'd been Further Ado, and who's Chief Wallaby.
Yeah. I agree. I'm shocked, and like I said, I think the name, I think the Puma was going to take name money, and then So Happy got all of it when the Puma scratched, maybe, and that's part of it too. So perfect storm of things. Magic. Who did you actually end up going with? I don't even remember if you told me this morning, because weren't you on the Puma to win?
Yes, I was all on board with the Puma. I didn't make any bets all day. I had a few bets yesterday that I made some, got lucky. Thanks to you guys for the help in the Edgewood. So I hit that late pick 3, which was really nice. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to focus on the Derby this year. I did all my work. I'm like, I'm in a key emerging market in exotics. I'm going to put the Puma to win. I'm all set for it. And I wake up today and I get a text from Aaron with 4 numbers. And I'm like, okay, those are the 4 horses he's using. Wonder why he got off the Puma. And then I see a text from other people going, oh my God, the Puma scratched. And I looked at my phone and I was about ready to just huck it across the room because I was so pissed off about it. Yeah, I landed on Commandment. It's not a strong lean. I just think Commandment hasn't done anything wrong. To me, he felt like the safe bet in a very wide open Derby because you look at his progression buyer-wise. You look at how he's performed. At his Florida Derby, the fact that, he beat my top pick by a nose there, I just love the fact that he was just rattling off like 12 second, 12 second, 12 second. He's so damn consistent and steady. And I think the biggest knock on him, I could make bigger knocks on the other shorter prices here. The only knock on him is he can't keep a jockey, but every jockey who's ridden him has won at least one Triple Crown race. So it's not like a bunch of bums are passing around. It's Irad, it's Pratt, Saez is aboard, and Jaime Torres was aboard this horse at one point, and he won the Preakness Stakes. So there are good jockeys that just keep moving around on him. I just think that he's the steadiest horse in here. So I landed on Commandment, but it's not, as you can tell from the tone of my voice, it's not a strong, like, yeah, and, pay the mortgage with Commandment.
It's that kind of year. It really is. It's really hard to get really a hard feeling on any of these horses because, and if you like, especially like, okay, you love Renegade. Well, he drew the rail. So, you like Further Due. Well, he ran too good last time out. Oh, you love Chief Waldy. Well, he hasn't won a stakes race yet. You love Emerging Market. Well, he's ran twice. There's just all these little pieces. And we talked a lot about it on Blinkers Off, where it's like, listen, this just feels like one of the bigger years that I can remember where at the end, in 20 minutes or whatever, Pat Day, there you go. Pat Day is Pat Day right there. When you at the end of the day, it's going to be, there are going to be some takes that we have that other people have that are just going to be so wrong, right? It just feels like one of those years where you have to take stands on horses. Like Potente could run 18th, right? And I'm like, well, that was dumb. Renegade could win. He'd be like, well, we overthought the rail draw, or Further Ado runs up the track. Said, well, you know what? He does love Keeneland. That's it. Or Emerging Market breaks from the gate, and you say, oh shit, he's in 18th place now. All of a sudden, this is going to be bad. Yeah. There's just so many factors that you think until they break, and then there's going to be a lot of answers to be had, but there's going to be some opinions that are just so wrong after this race, and it feels like more than other years, this is it's pretty high this year as far as that one way or another.
Yeah, we've been saying it for a long time. It's just not the journalism sovereignty race of last year, where it's like, look, it's going to be him or it's going to be him. Let's see if we can find anybody to finish underneath, and then of course, it was Baeza who finishes underneath, who everybody liked as well once he drew into the race. And so
that top 3 was still so
exactly.
You could get there all day.
Exactly.
They all won grade
he's not here. He's talking to us. That's why he's committed to us. Anyway,
have you been paying attention to what's gone on with my current employer for the next 7 weeks?
I've heard they crashed. Is that true?
Karma's a bitch, ain't it? Yeah.
I'll say this.
Feel bad for the customers, but fuck.
I hate it for the customers for sure. But so here's the deal. And coming from a website that has crashed on Derby Day before, number one, we got up pretty quickly after that because it's like, oh, well, we just need to upgrade the servers. Every year from that moment on when we crashed, we call the people. Well, now you email the people and you go, whatever you think the server should be, times it by 5. We'll pay for it, because the one thing we won't want to do is crash on Derby Day. And it seems like one of the ADWs, if I can, not the OTBs, the ADWs crash every year. And this year it sounds like it's you guys. I'm sorry. But,
I mean, hasn't it been us the last few years? I mean, there's an issue. Listen, one of my best friends in the racing world works on that side. He's like one of the higher level engineers. So I'm not going to pretend to know what happened. I feel bad for him. I know he's good at his job. But I remember with you that was the issue with, you just would tell the developers, like, get the fucking server ready.
Yeah.
This is our it's like NFL.com going down when it's the Super Bowl. You're like, how?
My guess is with their situation, there's more pieces involved in it. Where with us, it's just, we're a website. It's all on one thing. It's a server. You just bump it and you're good. I'm sure they've got different plugins that are going, for lack of a better term, that's going everywhere. So,
yeah. They also, I mean, it's just,
I'm sorry.
Also, like, there have been a lot of people on social media that were like, well, after this, I'm never betting with you again. I'm like, that's fine. They don't care. Like, they're leaving the whole, like, horse racing betting industry. Like, they don't give a flying shit about that because they're already leaving. You're just sitting there waiting to be served after the kitchen's closed. Like, just gonna call a spade a spade.
Well, you're definitely not salty about it. That's for sure.
Oh, they're doing the post parade. Oh,
yes.
I love this part. All right, so race 12 is in 14 minutes. No, we're not showing the race live. Let's say that on repeat. I want to talk to you about Renegade because I apologize I didn't get a chance to listen to you on the way up. I actually go through a lot of dead space in the canyons out here. I think that Renegade actually can be the horse to break that 40-year curse of breaking from the rail and not winning, because he's going to take back. But also, you remember 2022, the year Rich Strike fucked everything up. Mo Donegal drew the rail. That was the second straight year, right, that Pletcher and Irad had the rail. Mo Donegal makes this big move, but he starts like going sideways a little bit in the stretch, trying to get around all those horses. And if you watch it back and you think, if he just stays on the inside, like he should be able to, he'd be right up there with the top finishers in that race. I think that Irad learned a lot from that. And you're going to see when they come off the turn, horses are going to go 8, 10, 12 wide because every jockey wants to get into clear and press go, only to find out that the gas tank's empty. Irad's going to ride that rail, is he not?
Yeah, first of all, John A. 234, that's it right there. You're exactly right. And then, yeah, on the Renegade situation, I ended up using him after the scratch of the Puma in the top spots because I the more I thought about it, I was just like, he can do this. Like he can do it. I still think he's going to have trouble. I really do. I still think the chances are he's still going to have a tough trip, but it was almost like the universe telling me, hey, he's your horse. The owners are from Springfield, not Rapoli, but the other owners are from Springfield. And he won the Arkansas Derby. Like, this is your opportunity to get him back in there where you can root for him down the stretch. So I still think it's going to be tough, Magic, but I do think the odds are getting better of him getting a decent enough trip. And, Steve Askin told me, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, he's like, if he draws well, he's really not a deep closer. Like he can sit middle of the pack. Now, can he draw on the rail? I'm not sure, but what if he kind of gets that hit show trip where he's just kind of sitting middle of the pack and saving all the ground, So
yeah,
going to be interesting.
I mean, the horses immediately to his outside. Well, Albus isn't fast. Intrepido is going to be stupid fast. Litmus Test will be stupid fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's concern. Yeah, and this is a good point. Like, Saya's riding command. You're talking about commandment here,
Sure,
for Lord said.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a fair point, but he's also had time to get to know the horse. And I feel like Saya's is one of those jockeys, Aaron, that I feel like he should be talked about at the level of a Pratt, of an Irad, a Jose, a Johnny V. For whatever reason, he's not. Maybe he just hasn't had that right horse, but he was granted, Maximum Security was juiced up like Hulk Hogan in the 80s, but he still rode a horse first across the Kentucky Derby finish line.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. I'm not really worried about that aspect of it. I'll say this. I think he fits commandment a little bit better than Pratt did last time out. And what I mean by that is Pratt's a very patient rider, and he just kind of let him do his thing. I think commandment needs to be rode a little bit more aggressively because I don't think he really wants to be like a closer from way out of it. I think he wants to be more that middle of the pack, and I think Saez will be aggressive and get him in a better spot. Now the problem is don't get too aggressive, right? And sometimes Saez is able to do that too. So I kind of think he fits commandment pretty well. Yeah.
Like
so
the remember Tappet Trice in the Bluegrass. The only reason Tappet Trice, sorry to bring it up, Jared. The only reason he wins the Bluegrass is because from the jump, Saez is sitting there pumping him, and he didn't stop riding that mule until he was already across the wire in front.
Yep.
He doesn't have to work that hard on Commandment, but I'm with you. I think that he needs to have that kind of a ride. There was a question. This is something we did earlier on TV today. Harley, the famous pony at Churchill Downs, last year ponied both the winner of the Oaks and the winner of the Derby. Yesterday, Harley ponied Always a Runner. So the big question today was, who is Harley ponying? Chief Wallaby.
There you go.
If you're looking for a hunch angle, go with Chief Wallaby.
Oh, I love that.
Also, Monty is she's the woman who rides Harley. She was about to pick up Scott Hazelton and put him in her lap. The sexual tension between those two during the interview, I was like, oh Lord, oh Lordy.
I'll never forget, and we're not going to tell the whole story, Magic. When we were walking, Magic, don't do it, Jared. You don't do it either. We were walking on the backside of Churchill Downs after the Breeders' Cup, and we went by the barn that had all the ponies, and we saw Harley, and we ran over there to him. It ended up getting us kicked out of the backside. That was probably the most excited we've ever been seeing, and we've seen some good ones. When we saw him, we were just walking here like, there's Harley, and we were like, what? And we ran over to him. So
all these grade 1 horses around, and we're like, but it's Harley.
He's so cool. He's such a fucking
beast.
Cool. Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a monster.
He's bigger. They were interviewing the woman on Harley, and he was next to a lifted Chevy Silverado, and he was towering over the lifted Silverado. It was like, good God Almighty.
He was ponying Gazora yesterday. So he does pony horses that don't win, by the way. So he was ponying Gazora yesterday, and our buddy Paul sent me a picture, and I said, how big is Gazora? Because she looks like the tiniest filly I've ever seen. He goes, dude, that's Harley, though. Like, she's small, but yeah, he makes 3 of her. So it was pretty funny.
All right, we are about, shit, it's almost here. 8 minutes. Yeah. 8 minutes to post. Renegade at 6-1. I was watching that's why it took a little longer. I was watching the post parade there. Golly, like Patente looked huge, and Further Ado looked awesome on the track. They all look pretty good. Renegade at 6-1, 5-1 on Commandment. It seems like right now it's going to be between Commandment and So Happy, who ends up going off as favorites. 14-1 on Dana Bourbon. He's stayed pretty steady right there. 7-1 on Chief Wallaby. 17-1 on Patente. He's kind of continued to click down a little. I think people don't want to let Baffert go off at too high of a price. 8-1 on Emerging Market, so he's taking a little bit of a price down. And 6-1 on Further Ado. Great White, the name, man. 21-1. 21-1. That's the name. That's the name horse.
It's my fantasy league money coming in there on Great White. They know he's on my fantasy league team. What's Robusta Nut? He's 50-60-1. Yeah. Okay.
Great White is the only horse. Great White is the only horse that's about as big as Harley. That horse is also a monster.
Yeah, I saw somewhere over 17 hands for Great White, which is huge. That is huge. You like my nickname for my horse?
I like it. I didn't realize you had a nickname for it.
That's my horse. Nut. Yeah, Robusta Nut. That's my horse, baby.
That's your MO.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
What do you think about the way best last minute bet? Yeah. All right, yeah, I was going to kind of go to that. Bree, so as you guys are seeing the odds and you're kind of we all have our bets and our picks and whatnot, but like as you see the odds and decisions need to be made, final bets, final savers, whatever it is, what do you guys, any changes? What are you guys liking?
Honestly, I like the bets that I have. I like the try that I played. I still think Commandment to win wouldn't be the worst in the world either. So I don't have a lot of changes to what Bree, you probably already have access to. I don't, the odds really haven't changed what I want to do here. The biggest change for me, again, when the Puma was scratches, was to put Renegade in those top spots. Not just him, but put him in there in the mix. So that's the biggest one for me. And nothing's really changed since the scratches came out this morning for me. I just think I'm going to ride with the horses I've liked and see what happens.
What about you, Magic? You're a guy that, I think it's safe to say that you're not fully committed on Commandment because of the scratch of the Puma this morning. So any last minute edits for you?
Yeah, so the Renegade definitely on the ticket. After listening to your, by the way, I texted, I think I texted just Aaron, but I meant to tell you too, Jared. I thought you guys did an amazing job with all of your coverage, all of the content you put out on the YouTube channel. But your interview with John White, yes, it took me about 3 weeks to get through, but there was some absolute, like, you listen to that guy talk about Denon Bourbon, you're like, this horse is this horse could run laps around Justify and Flightline, like he's that good. So I put him on the ticket. So I've got to try Key. Emerging market to me, I've got keyed in first, second, and third in a trifecta, and I'm using Renegade, Commandment, Denon Bourbon, and Chief Wallaby. So 1, 6, 7, 12 keyed in a try with emerging market. It's $6 each way, so it's really not too expensive. But yeah, to me, those are the horses I'm trying to beat further ado. I don't love the races that he's been in. I'm going to try to beat him in this spot. That could be what I'm doing. But for this to pay really well, I've got to take one of those favorites out. To me, it's the Keeneland Sensation, further ado.
I kind of am on my place too, where I like where I'm at. I just honestly, I honestly like further ado more the closer the race gets. I don't know if it's because he's kind of staying steady out on the outsiders as far as not getting favoritism. But I think that I just like, he to me is the horse that just he's drawn outside, just break, sit in a good spot, and do your thing down the stretch. I don't think he's a horse for course. I don't. The more I've looked into him, the more I've handicapped, the more I don't think he's going to bounce. Even if he does bounce a little bit, it's still good enough to win, in my opinion. So he should be right there. I think it's going to be a hell of a stretch run, though.
So what's our plan here? Because that's going to be behind, and we can't put that on the screen. Should we have Magic take over for the call, and then we'll come back after?
Yeah,
but we'll mute everything. Right. That way we can't.
We got NBC on in the back, and we're gonna watch that on the big screen. So we're gonna be watching that. But
go ahead.
Let me go real quick. I'm gonna disappear. I have the sheet of silks, so I'm gonna get that so I can call this properly. So I'll be right
back.
It.
Okay, good. All right.
It's like Larry Comas over here.
I like it though, because I was worried. I was like, I really don't want to be live, and then everybody's gonna know what happened. But this is running late, and so
who is that on the 5-1? Who is that top?
5. So happy.
So happy is the favorite right now.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Let me see the pools here real quick. On the win. Sorry, it's taking a second. Okay, now Renegade is actually flipped the favoritism. Yes, Renegade is actually the favorite now. So happy second choice. So get back. Okay, Magic's back. I say I don't want to get spoiled.
All right.
You ready to take over? You want to take it over?
Yeah. So we are 2 minutes to post for the 152nd run of the Kentucky Derby. Good luck, gentlemen. And by the way, I'm going to post it. Is there a way to pin it? No. Here. I'll say this now. If you just go to YouTube and look for the Kentucky Derby feed, if you want to watch the race, Racing TV, a legitimate source, has the race. You can watch there. Yeah, I am, not just because I ran up the stairs back up here. I'm out of breath. I'm very excited. We spent 6 months from the time the Breeders' Cup Juvenile ends to now, building up, waiting, the anticipation. It's so real. And it's all going to be right here. We're a minute to post for the 152nd Kentucky Derby. However you're playing it out there, thank you for joining us here on the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. We do truly appreciate you and want to wish you the best of luck. Let's see. Oh, that definitely doesn't work. Is this a better one? That's all right. Okay. So I've got it's a little blurry there. I've got my sheet with all the silks. I'm going to do my best impression of my colleague, Larry Comas, calling this race. But it's post time for the 152nd Kentucky Derby. Right now, the favorite at 5-1. 2 horses at 5-1. Further ado, the 18 horse Renegade goes into line first. I already can't see who that is with the white silks. I believe that's Chief Wallaby. He is into line. The 2 Albus, he goes in quickly now off to Patente. Everybody behaving themselves very well. The 3 Intrepido goes in. The long shot for trainer Jeff Mullins. Hector Barrios will be aboard here. There's Litmus Test. Martin Garcia aboard, 1 of 2 for Bob Baffert. We're taking a look now At the 16 there, that is Pavlovian coming in off of that very game, second in the Louisiana Derby. The 7, 1 of 2 from Japan, Danon Bourbon. He's going into line right now. He is currently 13-1. Significant odds there. There's the 18, further ado, your favorite right now at 5-1 for the Kentucky Derby. So happy carrying the spirit of Dina Glatt aboard. Mike Smith could be the oldest jockey to ever win the Kentucky Derby if he gets the job done. Do want to let you know that Alex Achard is off of Great White. Alex Achard currently off of Great White. They are adjusting his saddle, it appears. Have not heard anything about a scratch. They are currently showing the front of the starting gate here, so at the mercy of what we're being shown. Again, thank you everybody for joining us here on the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. If you want to watch the actual race, check that link right there. I posted it there, or that's for if you're international. NBC Peacock, of course, if you're in the United States, you have a subscription. Go there to check it out. Further ado, still your favorite at 5-1. Renegade from the rail, trying to be the first horse since Ferdinand in 1986. 40 years since we had a horse win from the Kentucky Derby. That year, Bill Shoemaker became the oldest jockey to ever win the Kentucky Derby at age 54. Worth noting, Mike Smith, 59, aboard So Happy. John Velasquez, Johnny V, he's also 54 years old, but a few months younger than Bill Shoemaker was at the time. Still a delay, and they are now backing the horses out. They have scratched Great White. Great White is a scratch. The 21 will not run in the Kentucky Derby, so we have a delay. The 152nd Kentucky Derby will now have a field of 18. There will be no 21, no Great White hope for anyone today. A shame, because Great White was taking a lot of play. He was 50-1 on the morning line. He was down to 22-1. A lot of folks love the big hulking gray horse, Great White, winner of the John Battaglia Memorial Stakes. Tried dirt in the Bluegrass. That didn't work out for him, but unfortunately, and this is such a tough blow for the connections. You know, when I woke up this morning and found out that the Puma was a scratch, I thought, shoot, okay, the Puma's out. That sucks. That's who I liked. The connections you feel bad for. How about having your horse saddled, attempting to load into the starting gate, and he gets scratched from the Kentucky Derby? It is so sad. And yes, you're going to get refunds, whatever, multi-race. That's not what matters right now. Yeah, Terry running, I'm with you. It's so sad that the 21 will not run. No more Great White here. And whether you liked him or not, it's really, at this point, you think about the humans. The horse is fine. He galloped away. Whatever the issue was, he's okay. He's galloping over on his own. Hearing the Great White flipped. Okay, thank you. Doing this without audio from the track here. So the 21 is a scratch. They've already adjusted the numbers. They're going to be, again, the loading process. Again, they're starting it over. They did back all of the horses out, the correct move for the starters there. By the way, new starter for the first time. There's a new gentleman who was a longtime assistant starter at Churchill Downs. This is his first Kentucky Derby. We'll talk about the pressure there. It's like we've got almost the entire field loaded, and we just took out one of the horses. Now we got to back everybody out. So the correct decision, you don't want the horses to get too antsy in there in the starting gates, because they're trained when they load into the gate, in a matter of seconds, boom, I've got to fire out of there. So it's good to know that he's okay. It's good that they've backed everybody else out of here. And yeah, no more running for Great White. So the 21 is out. It is now a field of 18. However, from a betting perspective, your favorite still remains Further Ado at 5-1, carrying the Spendthrift Farm Silks. They've already begun the loading process once more. Chief Wallaby is in. Emerging Market just now going in. There goes Litmus Test once more for Bob Baffert. And there we see Pavlovian, Commandment, who is currently on the board at 6-1. So Happy, the 8 horse, has now dipped back down to 5-1. Renegade, the 1 horse, at 5-1. So Happy, the 8 horse, at 5-1. Further Ado, the 18. They're all 5-1. We have a Kentucky Derby. We talk about how wide open it is. 3 horses set to go off at 5-1. Commandment, the 6, was right there with him at 6-1. I was about to say, let's go upstairs to Larry Colmus for the call. I'm not on television right now. I'm the one doing the race calling here. I am going to take one headphone out here. Hopefully that doesn't screw up the audio. I think we're still good. All right. I do need to hear just a little bit from my good friend Larry Colmus. By the way, Larry Colmus, fantastic human being. Great White, if you missed the news, he is a scratch from the 152nd Kentucky Derby. We're just awaiting 2 more horses. The 11 horse, Incredible, 1 of 2 for Pin Oak Stud, and trainer Riley Mott, son of Hall of Famer Bill Mott, who won this race last year with Sovereignty. Just waiting for Robusta Nut for Dream Doug O'Neill and Calumet Farm, and we'll be set for a start of the 152nd Kentucky Derby. Good luck to everybody out there. I'll do my best to call them all home. They're off. Looks like a clean break for pretty much everyone. Some scrambling going on. Renegade getting bullied. He's trying to get off the inside there, but the 2, 3, and it looks like the 4, especially litmus test, came in on him. We're going to see Denon Bourbon, who had Denon Bourbon on the lead, along with So Happy, up towards the lead early. Wonder Dean from UAE Derby also in the mix. Now 6 Speed, the UAE Derby runner-up, takes the lead. It's going to be 6 Speed taking the lead into the first turn. Denon Bourbon and So Happy contend to sit right behind him as he crosses over into the first turn. That opening quarter, 22.68 seconds. They are 5 wide behind him. Litmus test on the inside of a wall of horses. Further ado, sitting in the perfect pocket trip behind them. But through the clubhouse turn they go. 6 Speed now has a clear command. Denon Bourbon second. So Happy third. Wonder Dean sitting in fourth. Litmus test on the rail back there in fifth. Emerging Market part of the mix as well. Looking towards the trailers there, looks like Ocelli is at the rear, Renegade near the rear as well, along with a couple of other horses. It is now 46.44, so they really slowed it down on the backside there. We're thinking to be about a second faster than that. Still 6 Speed in command. Denon Bourbon has shifted out. He's too wide. Emerging Market with Flavian Pratt. He's set to make a move along the outside of Litmus Test as they go into the far turn. Litmus Test backs out. Emerging Market making his move. Denon Bourbon too wide. He's about to take command away from 6 Speed. We've got So Happy 3 wide with jockey Mike Smith. Emerging Market, Flavian Pratt. They're all in and they are not moving. Further Ado is moving though, as is Commandment and Wonder Dean. And further back behind them, looks like we've got movement from, I mentioned Wonder Dean. And we've got, oh goodness, the 10 is, that's Wonder Dean. As we go to the shot, Denon Bourbon is pulled away from this group. He is pulling away. Ocelli the Maiden at 70-1. The Maiden, Ocelli, is running down Denon Bourbon. He has taken the lead. Here comes Renegade. Here comes the outside 19. Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo just won the Kentucky Derby. Golden Tempo makes Cherie DeVoe the first female trainer to ever win the Kentucky Derby. Renegade second. A very game second. The Ortiz brothers hit the exacta. It is 19-1 over the Maiden, Ocelli, the 22, Jose Ortiz, and Golden Tempo. The son of Curlin, out of a Bernardini mare, wins the Kentucky Derby. All right, we've got the replay going again here. And at this point, Renegade far back, as is, they're about mid-pack, along with Golden Tempo. Renegade brushes a bit with either Albus. I think that was actually, that's incredible up there with the blue cap. Denon Bourbon has the lead. Mid-stretch, he gets collared by the Maiden Ocelli. And here come the Ortiz brothers. Renegade, the 1 inside of the 19 Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo over the top. It is going to be 19-1, 22, and a photo for the super between the 12 Chief Wallaby and the 7 Denon Bourbon. But at 23-1, Golden Tempo has just won the 152nd Kentucky Derby for Phipps Stables. And again, Cherie DeVoe, former longtime assistant trainer, top trainer for Chad Brown, becomes the first woman to ever train the winner of the Kentucky Derby. And I'm already watching the comments fly in here. Yeah. Like, guess what, Roxana? Fuck you. I put it in there. You screw off. You want to watch the run, not listen. Great. I posted it. You were commenting when it was up there. Screw off. Don't need you there. It's a fix. What BS? Okay. Sure. Principled Pepe AP. How about this? Denon Bourbon was too close, but he ran great. He did. Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo. All right. Bye, Paws and Tails. Yeah, racing's fixed. Okay. Jose Ortiz wins. Irad Ortiz Jr. second. And Ocelli, the 22, is going to be third. We've got a 23-1 over a 5-1 over a 70-1 trifecta. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Wow. Matt S., this is fantastic. This will not... I had a theory before the Puma scratch. I said the Renegade drawing the rail is going to be a problem because he's going to lose. We're going to say that was the best horse, but he just didn't get the right trip. And he'll be over betting his next race, or maybe he goes and wins the Belmont. Matt S says it perfectly here. Renegade, the real winner after what he went through at the break. Obviously, couldn't show it here, but the fact that he was just out of the break, it looked like it was litmus test when I was watching live. Litmus test came in, boom, 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 knocked out the 3, the 2, and of course Renegade the 1. They have posted it. It's unofficial. Let me tell you the order of finish. The 19 Golden Tempo 1, Renegade was second. 22 O'Sally third. Chief Wallaby the 12 fourth. Danon Bourbon 7 fifth. 19 1, 22 12 7. That is your super high 5. If you played the Octo Fuck Ya, whatever they call it. Incredible at the 11th, 6th. Commandment 7th, the 6th, and then Wonder Dean was 8th. First of all, let's recognize the fact that Japan, 2 horses, both very unknowns, they both were in the top 8 here. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Alex, I'll be honest, when Danon Bourbon struck the front there, I thought of 2 people. I thought of John White because he was all over Danon Bourbon, and then I thought of you because of that. So, wow, incredible. That was absolutely great. Commandment, I think you mean Gary, did not run very well. The fact that he came up there for 7th, I think, at all is a significant sign. But yes, this is what I told Aaron like a month ago. I was like, or a couple weeks ago after the draw, a week ago. Okay, I said he's going to be the best horse in the race, and we're going to come out of it saying, yeah, he was the best horse. Jared, Aaron,
did you guys watch the same thing we just watched? I don't know.
I'm sorry. Did the 5th round draft pick of the Magic Mike show just win the motherfucking Kentucky Derby?
I didn't even know that part. Dude, I mean, listen, we had to sit there and watch it at the rerun of, or the stretch run again just to figure out what the hell just happened. So there's so many
like 6 lead changes.
First of all, congrats.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
You did so much work on that one. It's so good. Okay, so again, we're watching this with you guys, so we got a lot to digest. Halterman will have a video out later next week about really what happened, but this is just the immediate reaction. O'Sally, the maiden, almost won the Derby. There's case in point.
I thought he was going to win.
I'll 1B that and say O'Sally ran past Commandment and Further Ado like they were standing still. That happened. No matter, he didn't win, that happened. Yeah. Okay, that's the first part. Renegade was probably the best horse of the race. Got murdered at the stretch or the break. The one rail just did what it did, right? But he ran huge.
You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of Sierra Leone.
Yeah,
where he almost did it from that inside post and just couldn't.
And then the other thing I'll say is Dana Bourbon and Chief Wallaby, they ran well enough, right? They were right there, 4th and 5th. And who's the other one? Golden Tempo. So you watch the overhead. There's Golden Tempo and there's Renegade. Renegade's in front. Golden Tempo is behind him. And he outran Renegade as well. I mean, I know they went fast. It was a Rich Strike-esque. I mean, not the odds that Rich Strike provided, but it was a Rich Strike collapse.
Yeah,
where a horse that just picked them off late. And congrats to anybody that really felt like that this race was going to unfold like that, and you thought he was the best closer.
You know what, though? The pace wasn't as fast this time.
They were slow.
Yeah, they almost went
on the backside. 6-speed did this.
Dude, they almost went 111 for 6 furlongs. I thought they could go like sub 110. So it wasn't now the speed did back up, right? But it really shouldn't have been a pace collapse like it was. I swear to God, I thought the maiden was winning, and I thought it was 23 for a half second, and I was like,
it was your horse.
I was like, oh my God!
And I heard O'Sally, and I thought, so I put it together like that must be him, but just Like, just, I mean, let's try to process. Like,
I can't process that.
And I think that, to me, Ocelli almost winning it is worse, or not worse, but is more crazy than the fact that Golden Tempo won.
Oh, 100%. Now, Golden Tempo's a horse, guys. He's been knocking on the door. Just hasn't been able to get there. But he's Golden Tempo. He's a nice horse. He just wasn't like, I didn't think he'd win the Derby, right? But he had been running well. Ocelli's a maiden. And not only is he a maiden, like he wasn't like when the Puma was a maiden, but he was really a really, really good horse. Or he wasn't even like when Power Shift was a maiden earlier on the card. Yeah. Like I would bet Power Shift to beat Ocelli. Him getting third, it's like I'm in shock.
He wasn't in the original body. Full Effort had to scratch for Ocelli to even qualify for the gate.
2 horses had to scratch. Like he was 22. Yeah. And by the way, Great White, what happened there? Holy cow, he was. Maybe he would have won.
I mean, you guys remember Thunderbuck, right? The big old Thunderbuck. Well, he beat him in his maiden special weight. You guys remember Reagan's Honor, who was supposed to be the greatest and greatest. That horse beat him in the maiden special weight. Same if Davis, the horse gets beat by 10 lengths. 2, by the way, the Puma, and then of course Renegade. And then the Virginia Derby, Incredible waxes him. In the Wood Memorial, who was so bad. Albus and Right to Party scratch. Ocelli was well beaten in that race as well. What happened?
I don't have again, with Golden Tempo, am I shocked that he won? I mean, shocked wouldn't be the right word, but I am surprised. Like, I didn't think he would win. I thought he was underneath horse. But for Ocelli to almost, for me to at any point in the race think Ocelli was going to win even is a shock. And then he gets third. I mean, it's very shocking. So, boy, oh boy, Golden Tempo.
How about this?
Go ahead.
Can Cherie DeVoe take some hot coffee and splash it on Chad Brown and go, beat you, mother?
Well, if you want to get in to the human side of this, if there was a female trainer to be the first to ever win the Kentucky Derby, it is Cherie DeVoe. She's done such a good job in a short amount of time since getting away from Chad Brown and starting her own stable. 3-4 years now, or maybe it's 2 or 3. I lose track of time, but I am beyond. I have liked Cherie DeVoe forever, right? And
you and Samich were the first 2 handicappers I ever heard. You're like, yeah, my girl Cherie. Like, she's got shit horses right now, but if she ever gets good ones, watch out. And look what happened.
What's funny though, Magic, I bet her, and I've had a lot of success with her for 3 years. This weekend, I never could get her right. When I bet her, they didn't run very well, and when I didn't bet her, they did what Golden Tempo just did. So it's funny how you make money on a trainer because you feel like you got a good read, and then that happens. But I'm super happy for her.
How about the like they're not even to the, what would it be, the next pole after the finish line, and Irad is high-fiving Jose. Because his younger brother just beat him for the Kentucky Derby. Like, the camaraderie between people say that they like that they fuck around with each other and they message, or they screw up races with each other. They were both trying to win that race. Neither has done it. And for Jose to do it first, younger brother to beat older brother, Jose's in tears, Cherie's in tears, and Phipps Stable. How about like an old school breeding program? Yeah. Their mares go back like 8-10 generations on some of their horses.
And how about this? Curlin finally gets his Derby.
Yay!
In the 1 year I don't bet him, because I always bet the Curlin horses because I want him to get the Derby.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it last year with journalism, whereas I thought I could do it. Curlin gets the Derby in the year where he might stop breeding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's right. They had to pull him early.
And I can't be more happy for a guy. And again, if you don't know me, some of you probably don't, you're probably here for the first time because it's the Derby. Curlin is the reason this whole channel's here. It's the reason this whole website's here. Because if I hadn't went to the 2007 Arkansas Derby and saw Curlin, none of us may have gone into horse racing, right? So for him to finally get it and to finally get his revenge, and again, I didn't have him. So, but anyway, congrats to Curlin. Love that.
23-1. 23-1.
Yeah.
Jose with the Oaks Derby double.
How about that? Yeah.
What a weekend for Jose.
Yeah, like Alex, and good to see you again on a couple of shows here, Alex. This Derby to me, like this weekend, it's almost like a lot of these horses, like I'm never gonna have. Like sometimes when you miss one, you're like, oh, I'm so upset. This is more just like, good on it. Love the story. Never gonna have it. Let's move on
Yeah.
to Belmont at the Big A tomorrow because I just like I'm not. I had Golden Tempo underneath, but I'm not playing that.
Yeah, I use Golden
Yeah.
Tempo. I believe in my, in my tries underneath. Like, if this thing falls apart, he could get up there and get a piece. Like him running from the back of the pack to getting a piece of it is absolutely not shocking whatsoever. In fact, if you looked at my top, 4 or my top 3 as far as my trifecta, I had 2 of 3 as far as mixed in.
I have Ocelli.
That's where I'm getting.
Why
at.
didn't you use Ocelli?
Imagine a world where you said Commandment and Renegade and Further Ado will get outran by Ocelli. You're like, dude, you're drunk. Like, there's no chance that. I mean, maybe you don't think Further Ado is going to win, or you don't think he's going to bounce, but you're still going to be like, he's going to beat Ocelli.
Well, the deal for me, and we do need to rewatch the race. We just watched it once, but the deal for me is when they showed the overhead before Heather was like, get over there with Magic, guys. And we're like, I don't want to. But anyway, they were showing the overhead. In Further Ado and Commandment are kind of moving as a pair. And I remember thinking, okay, they're not like accelerating, but they're going to be there. They've got a chance. And then you'd see the maiden Ocelli, who couldn't get by Albus or whatever the fuck that other horse was, just goes boom, right by him. It's like he just passed the 2 horses like they're standing still. So
I mean, but immediate thoughts were, as far as some of the horses I can think of, like I thought Emerging Market got a brilliant trip. I honestly, one of the factors that I didn't like about him was I thought he's going to get shuffled back out of the gate. And it's going to be a mess, and then he's going to have too much to do. He was in a great position. In fact, so much when they were turning for home, the rail opened up. Yeah, and you're like, oh shit, he's gonna skirt up the rail and he's gonna be tough.
I'll give you a ton of credit for that because you called that out as it was happening, and I didn't see it. And then when I saw it, I thought, if he accelerates,
the rail was wide open.
But you can't win this thing off 2 races.
Yeah,
and it's just like bam, square in the face. And by the way, Denon Bourbon ran pretty well too to get 5th. He just got a little tired.
Yeah, and he ran well. And honestly, the way this race unfolded, I loved. I mean, Commandment was pretty decently far back early. He made up some ground and then he flattened out. Further Ado doesn't have a lot of excuses, in my opinion. He was in a perfect spot. And then when the real running needed to happen, he got outran by a maiden. That's really what happened. Potente, what I talked a lot about Potente before the race. He just wasn't good enough. That's just plain and simple. He was in a pretty good spot.
He was in a good spot. Yeah, he just didn't accelerate.
He just didn't have anything. I'm trying to think of the horses that I'm trying to. So Happy. I don't know what happened. He was pretty close early on the pace, and I don't think he did anything.
Nobody close early was part of. I mean, Denon Bourbon was the only horse that held on.
It almost makes you feel like were the fractions inaccurate because it really did. It to your point, and you're right. Even though that the fractions didn't tell the story, everybody stopped up front. Like almost everybody stopped. So maybe the fractions
were going faster than we thought. It was pretty solid the first 2 fractions. Mm-hmm. It did slow down a little bit after, but honestly, I need to rewatch the race for us. I didn't see where Chief was at early in the race. Incredible finished 5th. Yeah. No, 5th. 6th. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Incredible. So it goes.
Holy super.
What was it?
Yeah, it's huge.
$94,000 for the super.
Yeah. So hey, anytime like you guys have friends or colleagues or for us, and you say, how did you not have that? And say, well, the super paid $96,000. Yeah, that's why I didn't have it.
Yeah, I mean anybody that was going to ask why I didn't have that, I'll say I'll never have that.
I mean, it paid over $19,000 when Justify won. Think about that.
Wow.
I mean, today's been a weird day where it's like, I'm just never getting to that, Like if Dan and Bert or, for me personally, if Chief Wallaby skirted up there and won the thing, I'd been like, damn, I was wrong. Like that one hurts because I liked him. I was wrong. I took a play against him. This is one where you're like, I'm never getting to that horse. I just never. So congrats to anybody that did. That's a huge win. It's funny how this particular race works. It's just that sometimes these horses decide to run on this biggest day, and I don't know. I imagine they'll run in the Preakness. It's Cherry. Like she's a horseman. I think that she'll give it a go. Horsewoman. No, hey, I don't look at gender.
Well, okay. Sorry.
I don't. That's you. That's on you.
Well, okay, yeah.
It's all the same to me.
What about when you're dating? Do you look at
Well,
gender then?
I do that. Yeah, I do. I'm not binary. But I think they'll give it a go. Don't you? I mean, listen. By the way, Chief Wallaby, dangerous in the Belmont. I think if they decide to run the Belmont, I think that one extra race is going to be huge.
So just say trainer. I agree.
It's important to acknowledge that she's the first woman to ever do it. I'm not like we're not going to say, it was a female trainer. Like she's the first to do it. We should acknowledge that.
Listen, Ross. I don't know that this is not fair to say, but like he's going to be a victim of a lot of races. Like the race, this setup so perfect for him, and he's the kind of horse that needs that setup. You got to remember, you got to look back the last race. What happened?
I thought you said racist.
No,
he's going to be a victim of a lot of racists. I was like, I don't
a lot of racism for Golden Tempo.
Racist. Yeah. No, Ross is right, and you're right. Yes,
like he couldn't get past Emerging Market and even Pavlovian last out.
Exactly.
But then here, and he's just going to be one of those horses that, I don't think there's any doubt he's going to be overbet in the next race he runs in.
I'm not picking him in the Preakness.
Yeah,
I'll just say that right. Well, I'll stop. We don't know what the Preakness is going to be, right? But if there's other horses in there that have a little bit of,
I may have said it. It's the Woodford.
Bro, I totally thought you said
definitely
races,
the Woodford.
And I was like, why do races hate Golden Tempo?
I didn't really say. I mean, I didn't mean it.
But anyway, yeah, I do agree with his running style. He's always going to be compromised early, and he is a Sierra Leone type of runner, and we've said that all year. And like I said, that the fractions really didn't set up for the horse, but maybe they were going faster than that it posted. That was a great. I mean, you can't don't take anything away from the horse. Brandon,
David, when I watched that race, and I am Bob Baffert, I'm just channeling my inner Bob Baffert. If I watch that race and I say, "Is it good?" Let's go run the Preakness, because you can beat that field if you run those horses again.
I would agree.
I mean, come on. Yeah. Crude Velocity would be my pick as of right now if they were to run in the race.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Top 3 winners. Let me pull up does anybody have like a screenshot of the results?
I don't have it.
Okay. But Magic, I'll let you talk.
Twitter machine.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, go to that Twitter machine. Yeah, so just I'm kind of in shock with what happened still. What do you think, Magic? Have you broke down this race?
No, I was too busy trying to figure out which fucking horse was that I'm calling horses I can do it in a 6-horse race, 20 of them, 18, whatever it was. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, that was incredible. I do want to watch it back for Chief Wallaby. I felt that, that Further Ado to me was a toss, and I felt validated. But I haven't seen the trip, so I don't know.
I can't find any excuses for him.
I thought Further Ado got a good trip, and I thought Commandment did too, to be honest.
So I like that one person's like, stop talking about her being a female trainer. We've been talking about Sheree DeVos. She did a fucking great job. You know what? I want to say something. What I was thinking about, there was a DRF article earlier this week about how he has little issues with it. He had ouchy feet, right? Is the term we kind of use loosely. And Sheree DeVos, reading the words, I could hear her saying, "It's not a big deal. This is a normal thing. I'm a horsewoman. This is horsemanship. I know what I'm doing." And people were like, "I think he's gonna scratch." I saw respect people whose handicapping angles I respect going, "Well, I liked it, but when she said this, she acted like it's not a big deal. But there's no way I want to take a horse with ouchy feet in the Derby." I think that the fact that Golden Tempo deals with a recurring issue with his feet and he hasn't missed a start says volumes about Sheree DeVos. This is a horse that won at 6 furlongs on debut, despite what she thought. She put him in a 6 furlong race because she said he needs to get a race, and then we'll stretch him out to 2 turns for his maiden. But he won first out, so they go to the Lecomte. He ends up going off favored in the Lecomte. Remember, he was a big price on the morning line. He wins as the favorite, and then he catches a very short field behind Paladin, and then he catches a short field in Louisiana Derby. He finally catches a big field, and he uses that big late kick that he had. So tremendous job. Jose Ortiz never gave up on this horse. Never been another jockey on Golden Tempo. Jose Ortiz and Sheree DeVos, they go together like peas and carrots, like peanut butter and jelly. It's just, they're a fantastic combination. Even when they lose, look at how look how Englishman ran in the Pat Day Mile, right? Like he wins that race more years than he loses it. So all the credit to Sri DeVoe. And again, I go back to the fact that the parts of your show I was able to catch with service on the way home from the studio. You were talking about Chad Brown might not be the nicest person, but he's a great trainer. Sri DeVoe is both. Chad Brown could be an asshole, right?
Yeah.
Like he could be a flat out egotistical son of a bitch.
Well, there goes our partnership with Chad Brown.
What are they going to do? What's going to happen? They're going to fire me twice? Sri DeVoe dealt with his bullshit for years. The hot coffee reference is a real thing. Look it up. And the fact that she escaped from Chad Brown, went off on her own with no clients, and has built up the program to where she now has a Kentucky Derby winner is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy for her. Her husband, David Ngordo, does a lot of the scouting at sales for horses. Her stepdaughter, David's daughter, Reagan, if you ever see a horse that she's training that's named Reagan, like Reagan's honor, it's because of her. So, like, they're very talented people. And the Phipps stable, the Phipps family that's been part of horse racing for over 100 years, for them to have a Kentucky Derby winner here again, I think is absolutely amazing. So all great stories to come out of this.
So I want to go over a few things. Number one, there was a comment saying, are y'all going to be able to watch the replay and comment on the trips now? We will do that on probably Monday or Tuesday. So come back to the website. I will do a full breakdown of that for you guys. And again, Jared and I, and I'm sure Magic as well, you only watched it once. So we will maybe comment on that before we get out of here. This is funny, Joe. And I've seen you in the comments all week saying we should have scratched Golden Tipple and Renegade. I swear to God to you, brother, I thought of you when that happened. And I was kind of in the same point of like, man, that's kind of weird to run with quarter cracks. Quarter crack Golden Tippo first, quarter crack Renegade second, Maiden Oselli third. But Joe, that's a hilarious comment, and thanks always for the comments. I'm not giving you shit. I just think it's funny that you said that. So the quarter crack angle works. 2 horses with quarter cracks and a maiden round out the try in the Derby. Easy Derby to get to this year, I thought.
Yeah. The quarter crack method. That's going to be a new trend I'm going to use next year.
Hey, Aaron, quick question for you.
Yeah.
So Jose beats Irad across the wire. Do you think that now lets him choose which side of the A-frame he wants to be on? Front or back? Okay.
The whiskey has hit Magic System.
I would say front for 2 weeks.
We'll just ask Tom Morley what he thinks about it. Jared, what did you think about it, though, with everything going on?
About what you just said, or in general?
No, the race.
Oh, okay. I have a lot of
Aaron's ready to leave.
I have a lot of thoughts about the other part, but
we'll put that on the Patreon. That's for the Patreon.
Okay.
No, I think it's important for people. And listen, I say this
front side,
talking to myself a little bit too, because the Derby is what we do. We cover racing 24/7 year round. For a living, but like the Derby is the race that the general public gravitates to. It also happens to be the toughest race to handicap that we do every year, and it's one of those challenges for me personally where I'm like, you do all this work, you watch every 2-year-old, and then for a year basically you're watching these horses run. And then you get to the race and you got it all, quote unquote, figured out. And then when you have results like this, and again, Golden Tempo winning isn't an absolute unbelievable thing, but I think Oselli is like the one where I'm like trying to rack my brain, understand that. It is sometimes hard to like, what are we doing here? It's like, what did I miss? But sometimes you just have to be like, it's the Derby and move on. Rich Strike never reproduce that, and there's horses that, they're flash in the pans for the Derby. I think what I took from the race in general, and this is again without watching the replay. Yeah. I love Renegade. I think he's very good. I think that was a huge performance for him. And I think Chief Wallaby is one that I need to rewatch, but I think he might be one that could eventually win potentially one of these Triple Crown races, assuming they run in one of the last 2 legs.
A lot of people in the chat are talking about Chief Walby got shut off a couple times in the lane. We'll definitely take a look at that. I do want to address this comment though, because thanks for the comment first of all. And will this change women in racing? I don't know, because we had Jenna Antonucci who won the Belmont. Now Cherie DeVoe. Well, that was like 3 years ago, I think. And now Cherie DeVoe's won this race. It's got to help. It's not going to hurt, right? I think, not to be like kind of gruesome, but it's like we got to get some of the older people, once they kind of get out of it. I think that's when racing's really going to change, because the racing, there's a lot of that old guard left, right? Kind of the older.
It's a bunch of old white guys that need to hurry up and die, is what you're trying to say.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
And so, to the point of the question, should it? Absolutely. Are there several women that are very much capable of doing what Cherie DeVoe just did? Yeah, probably. But I think she is a standout, by the way. But yeah, sure. And it should. But we should just let Magic answer the questions honestly, because that was the best answer. Yeah. No, there's a lot of people that just are very old and need to go.
Wepa time!
I
only know Wepa because of Damian Priest. So.
I don't know what that means. So.
Watching the
I'm Puerto Rican.
Watching the stretch run, and there's no doubt about it, Chief Wallaby, he had some issues, right, with horses closing in on him. He was getting hit from multiple sides. Yeah. He tried to go, he got hit by Further Ado, it looks like, a little bit, and he tried, but my thing with him is just he's kind of done this thing the last couple starts where he just can't quite finish the race.
I haven't watched it, but that's about how I thought he would run.
Yeah. He runs well.
He's very good. I can't describe it, but so far it's just that little extra. He didn't have it.
Are you guys? Are you guys more shocked that he did, like, that Renegade, or I'm sorry, that Chief Wallaby ran like he did, or are you more like that Further Ado and Commandment, given where they were at, didn't finish the job, or at least didn't give a run? Like that Commandment's claim to fame is that he never quits, right? Mm-hmm. Like that he keeps coming. Like you go like, hey, you know what? You said it, Magic, earlier. Commandment's not super sexy, but he's tough. He tries. He's not going to quit on you. And he was in the perfect spot, and he just kind of quit. And so did Further Ado. And so it's like, to me, that is even more shocking than really any of the results, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. I was obviously, I had him picked. I was watching him, and I thought he was making his normal move, honestly. And at the top of the stretch, dude, honestly, I was thinking, yeah, third, probably. Like, he wasn't.
They weren't moving like they were like loaded, but they were in the spots, especially Commandment, where you're like, okay, they're gonna.
Because him and Further Ado came together, and you could kind of tell Further Ado kind of shot out of there a little bit, like he kind of, I'm not sure, and he kind of kept going, and then it was like he stopped, and so I don't know. Like, I was pretty surprised he didn't at least get like fourth or something like that.
Are we going to stream the race?
Yes. Okay.
The race that's already on, that we have the results for right there. Yeah.
Let's.
I bet you Golden Tempo win.
Let's answer this question again. Thanks again for another question here. How does this rank as an ending? Top 10 all time ? I can't speak on all time because I've only been in the game since 2007. Yes, I've watched other derbies, but if you're not in it, you don't really feel it the same. Since 2007. I mean, it was pretty exciting. I think it's probably top 10 for excitement. That was pretty exciting.
It was a little dramatic because you had the scratch of Great White, and then they had to all back out, and then you kind of, we were like all pumped, ready to go. Then we had to back them all out. And, and honestly, they broke all. I didn't, again, I watched it once. There's no clear like issues in the gate. I thought they all broke. They kind of all got in their respective positions. Renegade didn't have any excessive trouble, clearly, from the one spot. Emerging Market, I thought it gotten a really good. I mean, I didn't like I was so thrilled at where Further Ado was in the race, like the whole way around. I'm like, he is sitting the catbird seat right
I thought
here.
you and I are both in a good spot. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I didn't really, again, I'd have to watch the scrum as they enter the far turn and into the stretch to see really what kind of really took place. But when you're talking about the commandments and Further Ado's, I'm thinking about the lower priced horses. When you're talking about Renegade, he obviously lived up to the expectations, I think, for the most part. And you're talking about So Happy, like they disappointed. They were kind of big time disappointments from that.
What happened to So Happy? I never saw
He just got tired, man.
Was he up there?
Yeah,
he was up there.
He was right there with the non-bourbon early.
Yeah, he got a couple calls early, so I think.
And I need to watch this back. I've heard a lot of people say Renegade got slammed early.
Okay,
I got this commenter and some other ones too.
Litmus Test came in and hit the 3, 2, and 1, and Irad was trying to like keep a path off the rail, and it was just boom, boom. Can I show you something?
Yeah.
No, that's all right. Oh, that's weird. StreamYard's changed.
Guys, like real quick, that's what was always going to happen, right?
Yeah. Watch where Golden Tempo's at here. Yeah, and then watch where he ends up going. This is insane. He's trying to find room.
Okay.
He has to tire. That's Pavlovian dropping anchor in front of him. And then he's going to go wide. And then he's just going to keep having to go wide. By the way, you see Commandment making a run at things. Denon Bourbon's on the lead. You see Renegades to his outside. Yeah. And then he just goes. I mean, look how far off he is. He's closer to the outer rail than the inner rail at that point.
Wow. Yeah, he was way out there.
And then the smart ride is he angles him in so that the horse can see Renegade because he's got blinkers. He wants him to see Renegade and know where he needs to go.
So I'll say this about Renegade got smashed and all this stuff. Like, he's in the clear. He's got every chance to win, and he got beat by a horse that was behind him.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like, Renegade got a poor, if you want to say got a poor trip, he got smashed and everything. But if you watch this again, we put that up again. I'm sorry, Magic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, okay. Put it up again. But Renegade is ahead of this horse by multiple lengths, and like you just said when we were watching it, Golden Tempo just tracks that horse all the way around.
Yep.
And beats him on the square. Renegade had every chance to win, got beat by a horse behind him.
Yeah.
If you tell me Renegade runs that race, I would say he wins it every time. Look at Cherie. She's going insane.
Gosh.
God, I hope she's okay. She looks like she hit her head.
Watch the beginning of it whenever he started making his run.
We should put that on there when you're Oh, we got to put that on we're going to put some on the screen of Cherie here once it's done. But yeah. Man, that's wild.
Oh, wow.
I'm so happy.
The great point, Aaron, is that he beat Renegade on the square. He was and he wasn't just behind him. He was well behind him at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I do want to pat myself on the back because I did hit the Oaks Derby double with the consolation with the Puma. So it's my big claim to fame. Look, I broke Magic. He froze.
Oh my God, that's good. That's good. Put that up there.
Okay.
Put that up there. Listen to me bossing him around. Put that up there. I don't know how to do it, so he's got to do it. But I love this video of Cherie DeVoe. I can't be too. Listen, like from a betting standpoint, it's like, yeah, it sucks, but I can't be too mad. I love this trainer. I have forever, so it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Is it on there?
It says exit full screen something. Oh. Okay, here it is. Look at her go. Look at her feet.
She's like collapsing.
Oh my God. Oh, she's the best.
And that's Reagan, her stepdaughter, with her right there.
Oh, that is amazing. Is that Steve Bick? That's Steve Bick with her. He's like,
are they?
No. She's married to
he's kind of like
he's married to David and Gordo.
Yeah, I don't think he did it on purpose.
Okay.
Oh my God. Dude, that's where we've watched the race from right where she's standing before too. Man,
that could have been us holding her up.
Well, I don't know.
Steve Bick.
You maybe.
I would have pushed her down because I was against her, the horse. No, I mean that's amazing. That's a cool story for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna see if my screen is still up. Kentucky Derby. I think there was a picture or a video of the start. If I can.
This is the weirdest Derby maybe ever for me, in the fact that
here you go.
The bets are dead, but I'm literally like kind of giddy that she won and Curlin won. So it's weird. It's very weird. Here's the start. Sorry. What are we looking at here?
The one, I guess.
The one. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's actually
Look at this. Yeah. See,
so happy. The 8 horse started that. So happy.
He tried so hard to hold his position too.
Here's the deal.
Golden Tempo's last.
Everybody told me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's exactly what I tried to describe to people, what was going to happen all week. But give Renegade a shit ton of credit, guys.
He got mugged.
He got mugged, and he still almost did it. And this feels a lot like when Epicenter. Now, it's not the big upset like it is. Golden Tempo made sense, more sense than Rich Strike.
Dan and Bourbon and So Happy are, by the way, second and third.
But
right.
This felt a lot like when Epicenter got beat, and he ran a huge race, and he just got beat on the square by a horse that it's like, man, I can't believe he beat him.
Dan and Bourbon and So Happy are right there behind 6 Speed. And the fact that Dan and Bourbon, I mean, he tried, right? I mean, he quit there late, but he gave it a run. They were right there with that pace.
Mm-hmm.
Litmus Test didn't get to the lead. Here's Emerging Market there, the 15. I thought he was in prime spot. And look at, there's Further Ado right here.
This is great.
Patente just to his inside.
Wallaby, Commandment.
Chief Wallaby is right there behind Further Ado. Commandment, he is behind. He's to the right to the outside of Chief. Right behind, kind of track. I mean, really, Further Ado and Commandment kind of tracked each other the whole way around the track.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's really nothing.
Totally agree with this comment. That's a great comment.
What?
To go through what he did and get beat on the square, I mean, much credit to Irad and Renegade. I agree. I thought he was fantastic. Go ahead. Sorry.
So here's the scrum. And look, this is when I yelled at Halterman. I said, dude, Emerging Market's right here.
Okay, so he's on that inside. Yeah.
I mean, the 6 Speed is clearly keeping these two out. He's right. I mean, I'm like, oh, if this horse, here's a Further Ado. Commandment is now taken to the outside a little bit. And Renegade's
Golden Tempo still last.
Golden Tempo is still last. Yep.
Pause that for just a second. And so I want to put this comment. The comment says, how did this race allow a closer to run them down? Again, 110.9. That is not fast.
No, it's not
really.
Dramatically
Yeah,
fast.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to point that out.
There you can see here, was So Happy. Just the outside. He's getting a little tired. Dana Bourbon. I mean, listen, he had every chance to run there towards the end. Further Ado, again, he's tracking. I don't really have a lot of excuses. Chief Wallaby outran him. He's behind him. And Commandment is right here on the outside, the 6 horse. But even right here, you could just tell, Further Ado doesn't have that kick.
No.
But stop it right here, and there is Further Ado on the inside. There's Commandment to his outside. They're side by side, essentially. You kind of assume one of those is just going to keep grinding on, right?
Yeah, I thought one of them would run third or something. They weren't firing, but they were also not backing up. No.
And then enter the chat, Oselli.
Is this him on the outside here?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Oselli basically says, "Fuck you both. I'm going to ram into you while I run by you." By the way, rams into Commandment, who rams into Further Ado a little bit. Then rams into who is that right there? Who is this horse? Is that?
I think that's
Wallaby.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Wallaby.
So watch the little domino effect there.
Okay, here we go. Let's watch this.
He's trying to get out, and bam, gets bumped in.
Okay, so
Gets
that's
bumped
what people
again.
are talking about. And did he get it?
Yeah.
He's still kind of goofy. Okay, no, he's cocking that head again. He wasn't doing that.
Never quite. I mean, he's still got some run.
Yeah, he's got run here. Yeah, but he just never.
Yeah, that's a big run from Wallaby.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's.
Look at Chief. Look at Dan and Bourbon. Do you think right here? Pause it, Jared, real quick. Is he the winner? Because the pace was. I thought he was going to win. The pace wasn't that.
That gave Derby. John a big time rush.
I thought he had it. I even said to you, Dan and Bourbon's ahead. I think he's going to do it.
At least 2 lengths ahead. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
And then here's Oselli, who's now entered maybe 4th at the moment with these horses on the inside. Again, Emerging Market just pretty flat there at the.
Oselli's a witness me. Stop it right here. You see, right here.
Here.
I thought
Oselli was winning.
I thought he was winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
I said
Oselli's about for a flat. I was like, Maiden's about to win.
And I thought it was Robusta, but it was Oselli.
You should at some point, maybe not, but really should go back and listen, because at this point I thought he was winning in my call. I'm like,
Really?
oh, Sally, the maiden at 70-1 takes the Queen of the Kentucky Derby.
I thought, right? Because I was like, is that 23? Look at this. Pause it there. He's winning. He's going to win.
This is right here. Golden Tempo is on the middle of the track, basically. I mean, look at the group here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the 18, right? 13 of the 18 horses are all within about 4 lengths I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, like, this is one of those races you just got to have fun with. Like, this is just wild. Anyway, go ahead. So does he ever take the lead? Right there, pause it. He's in front.
He's in front. The lead.
Yeah. Didn't have the lead within a 16th of a mile.
It's safe to say he doesn't know how to win, right? Because he never has.
Sure.
And then here, I mean, further ado is quit. I mean, Commandment did sort of keep trying, although he was pretty tired. But
so he's got a
He's
oh my god,
a length ahead of further. Further ado might have got beat by Patente. It's close. It'll be close between the two. Stop it right there. So there you got Commandment. Mm-hmm. Further ado, I'm not sure who those. Oh, Patente is right there in the middle. That's emerging.
Wonder Dean beat Further Ado.
Wonder Dean beat
and Emerging Market and Patente.
Go back real quick to like when Golden Tempo hits the wire. We'll play it, obviously, yeah.
All the way to the beginning?
No. When they cross the wire, I want to see something. Benjamin, I hope you saw it. We played it just a minute ago. I hope you saw that. All right, let's see this. I want to see something. Because I think Oselli lost by a length, I want to say. I want to do something. I just want to know what he lost by. A length. So that's a length, right? Length and a quarter?
Maybe a length and a quarter.
Yeah. Okay, I want to see something. You guys talk for a second. I want to see something.
Renegade. I mean, Renegade ran huge, all things considered. Let's go back to the start of the race here. One is the Renegade. Not bad right here. Like, you're like, all right, he got out. But then it's like, here comes the domino.
Right there. Irad's got like a bunch of 4-letter words that start with F.
Yeah, and then you basically had to make a choice of we're either going into the field or we got to stop. And so
can I tell you, as somebody that had him on his fantasy team and drafted him, I forgot until just now watching that Intrepido was in the race.
Well, he wasn't really ever, but
I mean, he was one of the 5 horses that banged into Renegade.
Yeah.
Look as they pass right here. Look at how far back Golden. Can you back it up just a little bit? Look at that. Look how far back Golden Tempo is from the next horse in front of him. Forget the leader. Look at that gap.
He got like the final gambit trip.
He got
one.
Yeah, he got the
Rich Strike, but he went outside.
He got the he didn't have quite the going in on the rail like Mind That Bird did, but he certainly had to do a little weaving there. Honestly, that was a great move by Jose to just put him way out wide and just like make his run.
Okay.
He was a horse that, if you watch Louisiana Derby, he was trying to go outside, and Pavlovian kept moving Emerging Market out, and at the last 16th, Jose dove inside because he had momentum, but he wanted to be outside with that horse.
Okay, before you play it, I want to read something real quick. This is how hard it was to get to Oselli in this race. Okay, he ran in 3 Kentucky Derby prep races.
Look at his last race. Jesus, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine. In the Sam F. Davis, Oselli was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 6th, beaten 9 1/4. Okay, in the Virginia Derby.
I'm aware.
The Virginia Derby, he was 6th in the Virginia Derby, beaten 6 3/4 of a length. Grittiness, Confessional, Butane, Lock, Stock, and Pharaoh finished ahead of Oselli in the Virginia Derby. And then in the Wood Memorial, which was the worst prep of the season, he was 3rd, beaten 1 1/4. He finished closer in the Kentucky Derby to winning than he did in the Wood Memorial.
We're about to see Butane probably lose here in a second as well.
It could happen.
That race is going to go on.
4 minutes to race 13. We'll give you update on that.
All right, let's watch the
Go ahead.
Someone asked the outside horses. Further ado, is the biggest horse. I mean, obviously 19, the winner, but some of those horses out there. Let's see how obviously he wasn't going. Golden Tempo came out the gate, just walked out. Further ado got smacked there a little bit, but I don't think there's an Someone wanted to watch the outside post positions when they started the race.
Robusta Nut was fucking with Further Ado a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
They bumped a little. I don't think it took Further Ado out of it, but
yeah, honestly, for the Derby, I don't see. I mean, I look for a regular race. You might bet for a Derby. I mean, that looks well. There's some kind of no. Boy, Pavlovian didn't get the spot, did he? He's not.
No, Pavlovian didn't even really get a call.
I said all week. It's like don't make fun of people for their opinions in this race because it's so wide open, and it definitely proved to be.
I would love to have somebody, and be honest, somebody make the case for. I'll even let you say for Oselli being on your ticket, like a trifecta.
Yeah,
somebody in the chat, if you did hit the try, unless you used all, which obviously, but like. Make a case for how you would get to Oselli as any sort of play.
Watch this move here from Further Ado. When he did this right here, when he's starting to go in, I thought, he's got run. He's getting a really, really nice inside trip. I think and I told you, I said, I kind of like what they just did right there. He's getting in position.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought still, he's in position. And it's
Johnny B hasn't moved yet.
Yep. He just kind of guiding him, and then it's just like he didn't have it.
I kind of thought he was just going to slowly guide him to his spot, and he's just going to take off.
I did too.
He didn't have much left. Mm-hmm. I mean, really.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
right here. It's like okay, he's all right, and he just didn't. Like right there, just tip out a little bit, and you're here. Okay, which he did.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, just run your race, and you got it. And he just didn't. He didn't kick on.
I mean, right now, at this exact moment, I thought, okay, it's going to be, Dana Bourbon, obviously, on the lead. But then I thought it's one of those Cox horses. Like, they look like one of them is going to keep going.
Yep. And then I was scaling back to who's behind. It's like, okay, there's Renegade. And I didn't even pick up Golden Tempo until late.
Well, no one did. So
and here he comes. Look at Golden Tempo coming in all the way to the outside. Yeah. And basically, unless you're banging T-Gaff, you aren't getting to him. Well, Magic's not, so.
Now, what do you think? I'm going to go ahead and say it to steal his thunder, but if Full Effort was in the race, he would have won.
That's what Mike Somich will tell you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm beating him to it. When he says that shit, you're going to be like, I've heard that.
Tune in to Magic Mike show on Thursday. Mike Somich will tell you Full Effort would have won, yeah.
Speaking of Somich, do you think he realizes that the Kentucky Derby winner was on his fantasy team?
No.
Boy.
Well,
Silent Tactic got dusted by Renegade. Let's be real.
Well, hell, Oselli got dusted by a lot of horses. Let's be real.
That's true.
They weren't here today. So,
the dartboard. I'm going to start doing the dartboard. I think for the Derby only. Just kind of. Just wing it a little bit.
It's easy to kind of be like, well, how the hell are we ever going to pick a Derby winner? But we kind of knew this one was a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why, even though it is still shocking, you're like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I'm not totally shocked about the winner. The third place horse, I'm shocked. The winner, I mean, I never would have played him, but I can understand. That's not a bad horse. It's just an average horse.
If you ask 50 people. Someone used Golden Tempo on top just because of the pace situation.
Well,
he was the perfect pace horse. If you believe that it was going to melt down, there
were some people in our YouTube comments that they certainly were not off of him. They were going to keep on him, and I hope you guys were. I hope you guys did. That's great. Yeah, but because he again, I didn't really like him, but he certainly wasn't like a trash horse.
I gotta answer this one real quick. And this is actually really good. So give me a sec on the thorough. Golden Tempo never got 100 buyer. His high buyer is an 88.
Golden Temple's high buyer is an
88. I assume it's higher now, but
give him 100.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They usually
let me again. We talk so much, and listen, I understand that we talk so much about numbers and thorough and stuff. I'm gonna find the document that what
where's your thorough thing?
Or low thorough.
Okay. I know John said this too, but I want to reiterate your blinkers off with the speed figures, thorows versus buyers. Like day to day, I go buyers. Specifically, the Derby last year, Sovereignty. Buyers said no, thorough said yes. Boom. I think Golden Tempo was also doing that with the thorows, and the buyers are like, he's okay. And to Aaron's point in that comment, or maybe John asked you, Aaron, How many races do they run at a mile and 3/16? How are you supposed to make a fucking buyer off of one race at this weird ass distance?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's what a lot of tracks do. They don't run a distance the same as their big prep on that big day, and it does make it difficult. Yeah, yeah, for sure. 88 buyer.
Here, I got it here.
God, that's wild, man. Here we go. Yeah, that's a great graphic too. Here, let's get this coming off. Sorry.
So where's he at? Golden Tempo 81, 84, 88, 773. Now that last throw was a pretty good number there as a comparison. Emerging Market, who won that race, he got the 3 in. He got 2. So I mean, I guess there was a trend, not even a trend, but there was at least an uptick in that department. But still, not exactly glaring.
Well, listen, I think 7-7 to a 3.
The 3 is when he added blinkers, by the way. He added blinkers for Louisiana Derby. That's where the 3 came from.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Yep.
Maybe it was
Yep.
Maybe it was but hey, he added the blinkers. What race? That race, not the Derby.
There you go.
Boom. Also, Talon Fisher, if you know anybody who's hiring, July 1st,
What are your qualifications?
I'm funny.
Yeah.
I have ties, and
he broke me on that one. I'm not gonna lie. He broke me. It's funny, but it's sad.
That's about it. I'm funny and I wear cool ties if I have to.
13th race. You guys want to talk about it?
Is it on?
It's getting ready to go. I mean, we can tell you what's.
We can watch that.
Wait, there's still races?
Yeah, there is. There's 2 more, buddy. Yeah. You got a bet.
What the fuck is on Peacock now? They don't have the.
Well, once it's over, it's over. So, listen. Let's before we, we're gonna watch it. We'll watch it and then we'll end it. Final thoughts of this year's Oaks Derby. What you thought? I mean, obviously a little interesting. Yesterday was way more what we kind of thought would happen, but today a little tough.
Yeah.
How do you shape up the weekend?
Look, I as far as the entire weekend, when you talk about the races, I feel like famous thing to say when you're a handicapper and you didn't do a ton of winning. I just feel like I was horrifically unlucky most of this week. I lost so many close races. The Derby was not unlucky. It's just I wasn't ever going to get there. I'm not talking about the Derby, so to speak. But some of those other races is just like, well, my God, we're in tight and we can't get out. We finally get out and we lose by half. I felt like I had that 5 or 6 times. So sometimes you have bad days. You go back and you kind of look over things. These 2 days were kind of it just didn't work out, right? So, just move on.
I don't. Anybody that didn't get in, and I'm putting myself in that one. Just it is what it is. It's the Derby. You got to take a stance in the Derby. That's the name of the game because there's 20 horses and there's a lot of storylines and unknownness of it. And this year was maybe one of the more critical ones of those. So this one you just say, it was tough.
Come on, 8.
Who you got here?
The 8 could change it all. He's on the way. Holy shit, he's 100 wide. Come on, 8. Get by the 1. Come on, 8.
Ocho, andale. Ocho,
come on, 8.
Surge, Ocho,
come on, do it for Bill Mott one time.
I got a wager on this sucker.
I did too.
Let's go.
Let's go. We're back.
Race after the Derby.
I told you Bill Mott was winning today.
That's right. So I'll tell you this.
Wrong race.
I'll tell you this on that 8 horse.
This is what degenerates look like, by the way.
Now you see what real, like, the Derby's over and the people that are left are like, oh, this is what actual horse racing is.
Yeah, the Derby's the whole different thing.
So the 8, what was I going to say? So I bet on Brad Cox's horse at Keeneland on April 4th on Bluegrass Day. And the 8 horse beat the horse by half length. And they were like 13 lengths clear of everybody else. And I thought, whenever this horse runs back, no matter where it is, that's a bet for me. So what happened to me on Derby Day? Now, unfortunately, it's the race after the Derby, so I didn't hit the Derby. But the 13th race, boom, got it.
We kind of touched on it a second ago, and I'm not going to ask you guys like specifics because, again, like trying to figure out which horse you need to bet back versus not that ran in the Derby. But like generally speaking, how do you guys? What advice would you maybe give someone that bet Further Ado? I'm asking for myself. That bet Further Ado. That's like, hey, what do I do with him? Does he suck? Like, am I wrong? Like, what do you do with? So, and that's just an example, but like the Derby is kind of an animal in itself, right?
Wasn't listening. I was texting Nick Sievers. What'd you say? I told him about that
Magic.
8.
I'll let you answer, and he can get the gist of it.
I told him about that 8. I just wanted to let him know 8-1.
Yeah,
go ahead, Magic.
Gilded Bandit. Hope he stuck around for that one.
Yes, Gilded Bandit got the job done. What do you do with Further Ado?
Well, just in general, like I mean, you can ask that or answer that, but I mean, just like anybody, it's someone you like that didn't run Commandment. Like, is it just like you kind of use it as like, hey, the Derby's an outlier. It's a tough race.
Yeah,
I still like the horse. I'll bet him back. Whatever.
I think this is exactly, and I told Aaron this why I was against Further Ado, because he made a point. He said you're picking the Tampa Bay Derby winner when the horse that was short going into it was barely beaten in that race, and you're chucking him out. Why? I said I think he's a horse that needs everything to go his own way. You watch his Keeneland races, everything goes exactly how he needs it to. You look at his other races.
I'm very happy about that horse. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's good. You look at his other races when things don't go his way or he faces tougher company, he doesn't win. The Kentucky Jockey Club, people were saying, especially that I work with, that love Further Ado. They're like, well, he won at Churchill. I'm like, okay, look at the speed figures and look who he beat in the Kentucky Jockey Club. Would you have Universe, Soldier, and Diplomat anywhere? Like, if they even qualified for this race, would you have them anywhere sniffing the top 10 in this race? The answer is no. So Further Ado to me was that he will be another grade 1 winner, I think. He's going to catch a light field, and he'll get the win. Someone asked you to fade Brad Cox. No, every year is different. Every year is different with horses coming in. Class President was a horse that looked really good for Todd Pletcher until he missed the Derby. Renegade got second. Do we fade Pletcher because of? No, you don't. Every year is different on that. But the one thing I'll take away from this whole weekend was the same reaction, Aaron, that I had after the Oaks, which was I was buzzing. I was like vibrating because of how, and not just because of the anal plug. I was vibrating because of how amazing the race was as a fan of horse racing. You watch the Kentucky Oaks, take the betting out of it. It was a cleanly run race. No excuses for anybody. Horses fired, and it was an epic finish. You look at this race, maybe there's some excuses, but you had an epic finish. There were, 5 or 6 lead changes in the stretch. Yeah. It was incredible to watch. As a fan, this was an amazing Kentucky Derby. As a bettor, yeah, maybe you didn't have Golden Tempo or fucking Maiden finishing third, but it was a great, exciting finish, and you should be excited about that moving forward.
Hey, like everyone that backed Emerging Market, the Louisiana Derby was the key race coming into the Derby. And that's so was the Wood Memorial.
That's right. And Emerging Market, where did he finish, by the way?
We showed it earlier. He was right around like Patente and Further Ado, and they were all kind of right there at the wire.
I think Pavlovian was last.
Had to be.
Emerging Market was 10th. Pavlovian was last of 18.
Like I said, like there was
so they flipped.
Well, I think Pavlovian never got close to the lead. Like, I don't know. Like, it was like some of those horses.
So he didn't get the spot at all. He was hung out like extremely wide. If you go,
he was hung like Slim out there. It was just
Whoa. Wow. There's a lot of sexual references in this tonight's show. I feel like for Magic. We may want to whiskey. All right. Any final thoughts, boys and girls? You're hot right now, right? One more race to go.
That's right. Big Jake in the 14th. Who else? Has everybody got fucking Big Jake? He's 8-1, but let's see what he is. He's even. This guy get a new morning line maker. He was 8-1 on the morning line. He's even money at first click of the 14th race. And yes, there are 14 races today. I do have Big Jake in the 14th, not getting that 8-1.
Give me that 3. I got the 3. It's 7-1 off the 6-1 morning line. I'll take that. Irad's gonna get the job done. He didn't do it.
Final thoughts though. This will go down as a very weird 2 days for me because I thoroughly enjoyed it for how much I was very lackluster with the bets, but I liked the results. I like the fact that Chad Brown had a very good training job and won yesterday. And I love that Sharita Votis won the Derby and was the first female to win it. And I love that Curlin won the Derby. So
the only thing would have made it better is if Emerging Market was the horse in front that she nailed. That would have been the only The only extra special part of that.
That would have been.
Yeah, it would have been, right?
But for all those hot coffees, she's got a derby. And you know who doesn't have a derby?
Chad Brown.
Chad Brown.
That's right.
That's right.
All right.
And the Golden Knights won last night. Let's go.
How much do we think Great White? I don't think he changed it at all.
How much do you think? No, he would have.
He made it go off 4 minutes later. That's how he changed the derby.
Hey, no. I think maybe the question is like, how much did Great White's antics change?
I mean, I think it's impossible.
It made it 4 minutes later.
No, I think the point of the comment is, or the question
like
is,
the weight, like getting in, getting
what
out.
What forces did it affect? And I think it's hard to assess it. I do think Further Ado seemed a little agitated, but I don't think it was enough to be like, well, that ruined it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it really ruined it for anybody. But again, that's probably more of a question you got to ask a jockey who's on the horse versus us just watching on TV, because we couldn't see all the horses on TV. Maybe somebody freaked out. I'm not sure.
I agree. I am way too sober. I even you might not be sober based off the comment, but I did see your next one. He's kind of making up for me. I'm
not sober, but I don't think I'm you last year, but I am getting there.
Yeah.
Listen, nobody's gonna be Saratoga Slim in 2022. He wasn't drinking, but he was as high as the Himalayas.
He was a different kind of not sober. A drug-induced coma he was in almost. It was bad.
I went because he had come in from mowing the lawn while getting super high, and I wanted to know afterward, what did his lawn look like?
Well,
was he just like doing circles there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here, listen. Next week, Halterman will have the full recap of the Kentucky Derby analysis.
I don't want to do it.
You got to. I want to hear. I specifically will tune in to see what you thought it was silly.
What's on your face?
It's my tank clip.
Okay.
We've lost him.
Yeah.
So anybody's looking to hire.
Yeah. Magic is available.
Magic. Yep. Send that screenshot to everybody.
No,
thanks everybody for tuning in, hanging out with us all day or all the afternoon, I guess. And congrats anybody that got Golden Tempo home. Even bigger congrats if you got that try home. You got your mortgage paid for, hopefully. So, but yeah, we'll have more recaps of the Derby next week, and obviously as it shapes up, who might be pointing to the Preakness. All right, I gotta get out of here. All right.
So I just have one last thing. Somich is already on a very strong narrative that Chief Wallaby was the best horse in the race. That's the third time he's the best horse in the race, and he's
won 0 of them.
So
at some point, you got to accept that maybe he wasn't.
I think I'm the best handicapper in the world.
At some point, stop betting horses adding blinkers.
Sorry, Magic. Go ahead.
Don't bet horses adding blinkers into the Derby. Don't bet horses without a graded stakes win in the Derby. Don't bet horses on the road. I'm trying to think of all the other trends that you guys outlined in there. There's amazing job. Fantastic job to both of you guys. Again, I loved all the content you had. And let's go to the Preakness. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and then we get the Belmont for the last time in Saratoga.
Jesus pose. That's what you just did.
Yeah. Sound Tactics going to win the Belmont, I think. No, actually, Chief Wallaby might. Sound will like that. All right. Anyways. All right, guys. See ya.